We are live! Live! This is a horrible overlay, but I'm too lazy to see if it can make it better.
Where is...
Are you screen sharing, or are we just watching the...
Oh, let me see.
I can just watch. Yeah, it's fine.
Wait, no, put up the fucking screen share.
Let me screen share. If I don't screen share to you guys, you have to delay.
Yeah, we're gonna be on a delay. I'll be like, Kevin, put the fucking thing up. You'd be like, I already did!
Alright, I gotta pop out the chat.
There's a 5-second delay.
Pop out. Where is it?
Are you not modded on the Twitch channels, Carmen?
No, you're not fucking modded.
What?
Carmen's not modded, no.
I mean, I'm just logged into the Strictly Broken account. Does it matter?
Oh.
I mean, you can add me if you want. It doesn't really matter.
Where the fuck is my Bacano? How do I look at card games?
Where did they hide the stream pop out, the chat pop out at?
No idea. I usually just chat through Streamlabs itself.
Yeah. Pop out chat. There it is. Jeez. Why was that so hard to find?
BGM too loud. Let's lower it. We want a sub though. Subtotal. I can't say it.
Subtotal?
No. Like, not too overbearing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What?
Okay, fuck.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, Kev.
I don't know what I'm talking about either.
Okay.
Bro, I'm just trying to
Glad we're on the
watch
same.
Joe play 14, bro.
I have a do not know tier because I assume there's some accessories that we just do not or do not get.
Maybe.
My favorite Discord feature of randomly crashing.
But who pinged me on the Strictly Broken chat? What the fuck? Cringe.
In the chat? I pinged you. You have the Weiss Schwarz tag.
I don't even see anybody in the chat right now.
There's 8 people. They just haven't talked.
Who would talk? Crazy. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
true.
you, Mr. Alphonsus, for the 21 months of
Hey,
sub.
thanks,
Hey.
Al.
I can't believe you still subscribe to us.
What do you mean? Al's my homie local.
Oh shit. He's gonna help you from all your.
Hey, he streams our Weiss locals every week.
You guys have Schwarz
That he
locals?
shows up.
Oh, that's his tag. Okay. He's a homie.
I remember when my locals used to stream.
I remember
your
that.
locals. I heard but you said your local sucks, so like.
I remember when people would go into the stream and make dissertations when people would make misplays or something on Global. That was funny.
Wait, that was not.
That was a
my
long
locals.
time ago.
That was
not your locals?
That was Vancouver. That was BC locals.
Vancouver. Oh, okay. I remember there was
the whole...
there was a couple weeks where people would just be like, "There was cheating on this stream," and I was like, "Bro, it's a locals. They probably just fucked up."
Bro, this is so fucked. My friend just sent me a picture of his of the Mitsuha where he lives in the Dallas New Fort Worth area. They opened a Mitsuha. There's a dedicated One Piece area in their Mitsuha for the card game.
What's a Mitsuha?
It's like a Asian market, and yeah, it's an Asian market. It's a big Asian market with like a food court.
Oh.
But they have it's
like a chain.
I'll post this in the fucking thing. Yeah. It's a chain.
Okay.
I got in the last card I needed to play today, so I have to go to One Piece locals tomorrow.
Damn.
I'm being dragged. Oh, that is pretty cool though. I like the big leader scrolls on the wall.
You like the guy in the middle with the chopper hat?
Yeah, Chopper's dank. We love Chopper.
Damn.
Chopper is like Tanner and Lexi's spirit animal. That's all they talk. All they talk about is Chopper.
My Asian supermarket will never sell card game stuff.
We are live. Question mark.
Joe Tearless Keck. Come watch. Smile.
Come watch. We love tier lists.
Mr. Beanwolf, the Doomer. Oh my lord.
I am the Doomer. So I've been told.
Yeah, but he brought back 2020 Weiss meta. You know, the one everyone loves playing with Konosuba and Attack on Titan. Well,
Wait,
it's English, right?
that deserves to be pinned. The one guy who made it onto Bijo's Final Fantasy 14 stream. He's like in the background.
Oh, the dude.
Yeah. Mr. Stu.
There was also a Coronet.
Liko is the worst set of the year. Spike's family is pretty close second.
Lily, what are you talking about? What?
I'm reading it the Strictly Broken chat.
That was in Strictly chat, yeah. It was Ryan and Hanson.
They're also doomers.
Well, I do not think
Ryan's a
Ferreira is worse.
As much as I hate to admit it, Lyco pretty stinky. I don't know if it's the worst. But I can't as much as I love it and think it's fine, it's probably not fine.
To be fair, realistically, right? Calling something the worst set of 2023 isn't really saying all that much.
It's true.
To be honest, yeah, there hasn't been that many crazy
like
sets
none of
in
these sets have
2023.
been bad enough to like be like, damn, it's worse than this. Like 2023, like all
there's so many sets in here.
Like for the good sets this year, it's like Pad is like the standout.
You're being told to like compete against shit like Pad and Hololive 2 and Key, like
yeah.
Overlord 2, like all these things that were just on a ban list and just got fucking their ass cheeks clapped. Like I don't know, dude. Like Review Starlight was last year, yeah. Review was the last set of last year.
Review
I haven't watched
any.
No,
the last set of last year was.
He's just so funny.
Is she funny? Okay, I'm gonna have to.
Funny. Was that Overlord?
That was definitely not Overlord.
You should go watch her.
I watched Shiori. I watched Narissa.
You should go watch her. Just watch her American Truck Sim.
Okay, yeah, I bet that's funny. That sounds
so good.
That sounds
so
hilarious. I watched like a little bit of all their debut streams.
She was trying to watch chat,
and then I was like,
chat, so she would crash constantly. It was so good.
I cannot. I realized while watching all the reveal streams that I really cannot stand the reveal streams for very long, and I was like, I'll check back in next week.
Reveal streams are usually the cringiest.
I was pretty heads down this week between.
No, you're not gonna watch the dogs specifically playing. Specifically playing Spookies.
Spooky Mansion was so funny.
That was so fucking good.
I saw the highlight reel of all the.
Oh fuck! That was so funny. I just watched it today. It was so funny.
How can two dogs
I don't
scream so much?
Like them much otherwise though, but.
Yeah, I've been pretty heads down this week between work and
okay, so
fucking working on the sim mod.
So this was really good. Slime was really good. Oh, let me turn off Steam.
Oops. Yeah, I mean, I really do think to call Lyco or even Spy Family the worst set of 2023 in JP at least is not saying a lot.
Kevin, best thing I ever did, just disable that friends pop up on Steam, and you'll never have to worry about it for a screen share ever again.
Yeah, it's like
if you look back on old PGH videos, it's actually in so many. Like the Steam thing popping up.
Right? I'm assuming Japan is not looking at the premium boosters because there is no shot you look at either of these two premium boosters.
Okay, we're talking about like true
unironically think. Yeah, there's no way you look at these premium boosters and say these are worse than Lyco. These are better than Lyco Reco, like ever.
Okay,
right. So they're definitely not counting.
No one talked about
Marvel. Didn't Marvel bring that deck back for like a week or two? I remember seeing that.
A little bit, but it gave him 8 and like
it made Star Wars more playable in the meta.
It's like whatever, right?
It didn't do too much.
I think Marvel walked out better than Star Wars did, to be honest.
Yeah, but Star Wars has so much to fix that
Star Wars can actually be played now. It is actually a real deck in 2023. But I mean, like Heavenbird's Red was fine. I think it has like one good deck, mind you, but
okay, people are super down to Arifureta. I think Arifureta was a much more interesting.
Dude, I got words about Arifureta. I also think that deck
is potentially. I think that deck is one of the most like frustrating decks to have to sit down against if they play the two soul shit.
Yeah, Arifureta is the best two soul.
It's either the easiest game you've ever played of your life, or it's the most actually infuriating.
I think after playing that list a little bit, like I think that there's actually a lot of opportunity for like flexing your pilot skill in
They get
that
another
deck.
set.
Weirdly.
That's actually really
It
good.
is like the baseline is like helmet. You slam the 2 soul, they cancel. You get the cards.
I
You
actually
get the stock.
prefer 8 door Arifreda personally though, but
There are a lot of really cool plays you can do to like
you can
flex
Yeah,
your
Hololive 2.
flex
Probably
your
one of the
skill
best
with 2
sets.
soul bar.
Hololive 2 is probably one of the best sets we've had printed in a while.
Hololive is contender with the best set we've had.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think Hololive 2 is a way better set than Hololive 1 was. No cap.
I mean,
Hololive,
yeah.
Hololive 1 had a lot of like. There wasn't too many like.
I was talking about it with
new
Tanner, and like even
profiles.
though we in the set review we did over in PGH, like even though we cut out like I curated it and got some cards, there was not like
Some of those cards were good.
there was like there was
were good.
there were like 6 cards like overall that were like below a a D. Like every card is
about.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think the only real card I missed is I didn't put the Pekko support on there, but that's not like a super
the
notable
Pekko
Pekko's
card.
support
for
was
any
just a
reason.
1.
Yeah,
it's
it's
Just for
it's-
HDM.
yeah,
It's
it's
because they want to
exactly-
play like Ainz
Yeah.
and like Iris. But yeah, I mean, I think Hololive is like it still has no good level 1 combos. Honestly,
There's no standout level 1. There's plenty of playable.
That's why you
ones.
see
Like,
every
like-
deck just plays Oski because Oski is just.
yeah. I think I was talking about this on the PGH set review too, which you guys can go watch on the PGH channel. I think it should all be up now, right, Carmen? Smile.
Yeah, it's all out there. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this, and I was saying that in all of Hololive, between set 1 and 2 and the TDs, there is no level 1 combo that you look at and you're like, damn, that's a really good level 1 combo. There's a lot that you can look at and be like, that's fine. That's pretty good. Like, you have like Corne. I think Kali is perfectly fine. Mume's fine. Not great, fine. Some of these other ones, like, Fubuki's fine. Oh, fuck, what else did they even play at level 1 ever?
Fubuki's not level 1 combo, unless you're talking about the TD one.
I think you just the thing with
I'm
Hololive
talking about the
level
1-0,
is
the TD one.
you just play the like role player for the deck you're trying to play.
Yeah,
Okay,
Like, it's
like,
like
I
about a
think,
trigger.
Okay.
Like
You just play, like, it's literally just Corne or it's Kali.
No,
Or,
no
like, I
one
don't know,
plays
like,
Corne
sometimes
anymore.
Fubuki,
Everyone
if you
plays
want the
Kali
trigger,
now.
I think Fubuki's a fine combo.
Well, yeah, I mean, Kali's the better uninteractive trigger combo, but Fubuki has her merit, and then there's also, like,
people play Okayu
the
over
Mume.
Fubuki.
Okay, well, I
Mume.
don't.
Yeah, Mume's fine.
Mumi's fine.
Gives you a
She's a
pants
good
level
pants
1.
combo. She gives you an
Yeah.
uninteractive level 1 pants combo, which is
Yeah, you
something.
don't have to rely on Pekko if you wanted to play pants.
The only reason people play Fubuki is if they want to get the Hachima bomb.
Yeah. I mean, it has a merit though. I mean, it's also like double selective. Okayu's not selective, right? I think Fubuki is like one of the most selective combos. You can do
Okayu is like
but Okayu's the safest combo. She's the
it's
most
like
vanilla.
it's super vanilla and it's good when you're like it's good for like those mid game decks where like that play Sora, specifically decks that are like hybridizing with Sora. Like Okayu
Sora's, like,
really
not
shines.
even- I don't even think Sora.
But Sora is not a thing in Japanese, really, so it doesn't really
Oh no,
matter.
she still sees some. I saw her popping up, but it's just like, why would you bother to play Sora over?
Yeah,
other things
I
right now?
keep because we're doing JP.
Anyhow.
All right, I think we can
Yeah,
start.
21 people. Yeah, we should go.
Yeah, let's hop back over.
We're,
Kev.
we're,
Let's
we're
get
giving
this
we're
rolling.
giving the
Okay.
sauce. We're giving all the sauce out before we're actually talking about it.
But the best set of the year is obviously Premium Booster
Oh,
Love Live.
oh my God,
I know more love. I don't know,
bro.
I don't know
don't-
a single card printed in this set.
Huh? Do
Me
you
either.
not remember the Maki
Cute art, though.
Asa reprinted?
Yes, I remember that. I remember Sam Kooming about it.
Is that first line of text just the? Does it have a different
It's
name?
like, you can't. It's,
It
it's
has
that
a
you
different
cannot
name.
play it with
Yeah.
the other
Yeah,
one.
okay. It has a
Yeah.
different name, but it's effectively the same name.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really pretty, though. All right, Kevin.
This set is
I mean,
just
all these cards
reprints.
are gorgeous.
It's just a reprint
Yeah.
set.
I mean, yeah, it's another Hall of Life set. It's
All right,
the breadwinners, the old breadwinners. Look at that Zera. That Zera is so cute.
all right, nerds. Weiss Schwarz nerds. If you did not know,
Kill
recently
his
we
hog.
had the JP community tier list. That shit.
Everybody got upset,
Ooh,
including
yeah.
us.
Yep.
All of Japan
Everyone
made fun of
involved. Everyone
us.
hated that.
It was not a good tier list in the end. So with that being said, we are gonna bring you our opinion on a new tier list. I saw yesterday there was like the Indonesian tier list that came out too, and then we also had the Chinese tier list
That
earlier.
Lily was so fucking sus, bro.
Was it really high? I don't even remember.
I thought Lily was
It
like
was the best
second
top five
highest.
deck.
It was within top 6.
Damn. There's some local out there. It's like we still just play a solo.
Yeah, it's like the people following the Pixar.
Yeah.
Japan is being wussies.
I can't wait till we get to Pixar. That shit's so funny.
And we have not had a Japanese tier list in forever. It's been actually like months since the last JP tier list
We personally were really all down on JP.
And then they banned Alice.
It was very boring because it was just the same 3 decks over and over and over with a splash of some variety here and there, but not very much. You know, it was whatever flavor of the week new set came out. And then they banned Alice and Overlord and Key, and it really opened up the meta to be neat. And now it's going to be more interesting than English currently, because I think English is in the same track.
Yeah, we're
maybe a little bit better, because we do have new things. We have some decks that weren't allowed to exist, like Nino, around the time. Whether that'll be that good or not, we'll find out. But
banless waiting room.
We have some stuff.
English banless waiting room.
Okay, I don't even think Pad is that bad of a deck. I'd rather sit across Pad than.
Okay,
it's just an ultra finisher deck. Like we played against those before.
8-bar Pad feels perfectly fine to play against, and it is really fun to play, but it's clearly doing something extremely strong. Choice Pants or Pants Choice is just not fun because it's a blowout deck. It's a I win or I lose deck, and it's not fun to play.
I mean,
against,
you make fun of JP having Pad, but the odds of if you play a JP only locals, the odds of you only playing into Pad versus if you play English locally, you're gonna run into Askigura. It's not even comparable.
I would rather play against Pad than play against Askigura,
I think
the game. Pad has to actually play the game with you. They do. You can interact with them. You can hate on them.
That you can legitimately get rid of.
They are not sitting there drooling and pretending to play the game for the next 30 minutes. But okay, well, let's start. Do you want to start alphabetically from the top with Quince?
Sure, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, it's fine with
8 choice. Have any of you guys actually played 8 choice besides me?
Never played into it.
I've played into it, but never played with.
I am personally a fan of this deck. Although I have had a very poor performance with it.
Do you think it's better than the other two? I mean, obviously it's
better than in JP it's better than a standby.
Yeah.
I think it's like probably on par with 8-door realistically. It's not a blowout finisher deck, but it plays for board, which I think is really good right now. Like, it's kind of slept on in that regard, but
it has like the double to triple EP play.
That triple EP, and they attack at like 15k. They're defensive scry. They give you a card. They give you a card back. They give you a stock back. They're like really easy to play for too. Your level 1 game kind of sucks, but you also have that one broken event. I was just talking to Weeb Schwarz Tyler about it actually, because he was looking at the deck. That 1-0 event is still so fucking overspec'd for no reason.
The bounce
it's like
of it.
It's cigarettes for Ichikas. And then it's if you salvage a level 3, bounce a dude, and then you also just look at the top 2 rearrange.
Yep. You just get 3 cards in one card. Or like 2.5
also
cards.
Top check 2 rearranges. Like, it's so funny. It's honestly so funny. It makes this level 1 combo feel so good too.
Like as if
broken early play too. That salvages choices.
The EP is so big anyway. It's like as if that thing wasn't big enough to clear lane. You have bounce.
And then you can buff it, and then you can also buff it too. Oh, also, John from Toronto showed me the sick line that I love of you play the 2-1 bouncer that's on play Pump a Soul somewhere. You sack it to bounce something, and then you peanut it back, and then you sack it again, and you get to bounce 2 lanes. It's sick.
Yeah, especially when the meta is more towards standby now again. Now that Alice is gone.
Standby board, being able to bounce things is really strong.
Standby has crept up.
Break boards.
So it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is like a solid tier 2 deck, honestly. I think it's a little slept on
I'm fine with that.
Reason.
Yeah.
Where it is in tier 2, I couldn't totally say, but it's like definitely there.
I think I would just put 8-door like probably
next
above
to it.
Like next to it. It's like above it or below it. It depends. Like you bring up an interesting point with the standby thing. I think Ichika is better with like the level 2 like running out the board, because I don't know if Itsuki is getting big enough specifically to challenge 8 standby Hololive. It's really not, right?
Yeah, but a standby Hololive is not like the other standby deck where it plays like a heavy count towards. Most don't even play that much heavy, defense counter. Some will play tap counter.
2 to 3.
But I guess tap counter would be existing.
But they always play tap counter, right?
Yeah,
like, I think like very few do not play anything.
It does just eat tap. Like there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
I think we can leave them together for now, and then
I'm talking about it.
A standby is tier 3, right? It's just a tier 2.
It's got gutted too hard in JP.
You can play it. It's fine. It's a playable deck.
Like 2 finishers, why? A huge difference compared to 4 finishers, especially when you're.
It's not like Nino, or it's not like Kurumi, where Kurumi was still 100% playable at 2 of, and still felt like fine. I think 2 Nino feels like terrible because it's not nearly as impactful. All right, Assault Lily, man. How do you feel about Assault Lily?
Right now, it's like tier 3, probably low tier 3.
There's no way it's better than Eastki.
There's no way it's better than Eastki. Well, there's like the thing with Assault Lily is there is a couple things you can do with it, but if you're playing into Riryu, like you're playing the level 1 door.
Like a Rekko, right?
Well, yeah, you're playing the level 1 door because like people are playing for board again at once, so like you can't do the crazy like pump stack stuff that like used to be really good for like picking apart boards slowly with like the back row book combo, right? Like the what you used to be able to use. So you're either doing that or you're playing the Hervor package at for like the early play stuff. And while those are good and let you like push damage early, they're too small for like the current like early play board spam decks, I think. I don't think those things like challenge enough.
And plus, the Hervor just uses a lot of resources.
Hervor eat your stock.
I love playing A Pants just because I love all those girls and those cards are so pretty. And I have a bunch of OFRs and SRs, but like that doesn't make it good.
Yeah, we were coping as fuck when we put A Pants as high as we did when this shit first came out.
A Pants is fine. It runs. It reads, and I think when you're playing it, it runs well. But like, and at the end of it, you're like, I'm not really doing a lot.
Yeah, I also just think this deck is worse than
probably below.
I would probably rather play Assault Lily than play Quinn.
I would rather play
one
of
these 2 decks. I'd rather play Assault Lily.
It's above Nino.
At least I feel like I'm doing something cool.
There's too many A standby decks just better than it.
Yeah, there's better A standby decks right now. Like,
and by so many, I mean like 3.
2 Soul X, which is usually just choice, deck. Right?
It's usually like, bar.
No, it's usually bar. It's bar. It's bar.
Nowadays bar, but you know some people still play choice or.
No,
right?
It's a restander. It's a Shea restander, but it spawns.
Didn't it mill the bottom card of their deck or whatever? I thought it milled a card.
No, it spawns. It spawns a card on play. So what you do, right, is like this deck. This deck builds so much stock. You have the card that salvages 2. So what your finisher turn looks like is like you have 14 stock, and you've tucked. You know where you've tucked like double UAEP, and you have like 1 engraved. So all you do, like. My finisher turns with this deck, Jason, are literally like play the EP 6 times and then play a single Shea, which spawns an entire board of Shea restanders and an additional EP for another ping.
Yeah, sure. It's like playing the fucking Duel Linker Pixar deck, but like
exactly.
Better.
Yeah, it's definitely better. I mean, again, it requires your opponent to cancel. There's the entire argument of if your opponent doesn't cancel, they eat damage and they're behind. Except that doesn't mean anything when you run out of cards and die, because you literally kill nothing with this deck. You let your opponent go off. You do nothing the entire game. So if there's a deck that like actively like shuts you down from doing something, you do have the ability to play Fumio. You do have the ability to play stock swap. So like you have ways to like break compression, but like I don't know, a lot of things have to go out. I still think it's tier 2. It's probably under the Quince deck,
right? It has to be like bottom of tier 2.
Yeah, but like
I've seen the deck played without the bar, and while I think the bar probably makes it a little bit better to play, it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything different than I think it does, right? To me, it's always still just a coin flip deck of like, sometimes this deck is the worst failing deck to play against. Sometimes the game is just free and you just go next and you just like roll over them.
This deck is incredibly fun though. I definitely want to pick this up in English if it's affordable.
No. I think if this deck is cheap,
this deck's really fun to play.
It looks fun.
It is extremely fun to pilot because everybody looks at it and goes like, "Oh, you're the drooling 2-soul player," but like, there's actually so much sick stuff. Like someone who knows what they're doing with that deck and someone who doesn't, it's like immediately apparent. Like the Shea back row double salvage is like a pretty skill testing card for whatever that's worth.
What was it? Is it salvage 2 characters the same name?
It has to be same name, yeah. But then the
UA,
yeah. But you have to remember the UA stocks 2 cards when you get a cancel, so it's about remembering where you put cards so that Shea becomes like a pay 2 to hand, like 2 stock to hand kind of thing.
That's pretty cool. It's pay 2, drop 1, salvage 2, right?
It feels it feels very rewarding to play. I will say that.
I personally like the Ari. I like 8-door Ari Ferretta quite a bit. I think it's
I think it's worse. I think it's just worse though.
It is worse.
It probably is just worse. I think it feels.
It's not tier 4
a lot cozier. It's probably like high tier 2. It's probably like a high tier 3 deck.
When people are playing for board, this becomes better. It has to be.
You have so much power.
Your combos are just so bad. You have good utility cards, but everything else about the deck is just so bad. Besides the whole resonate
package. Top end's like fine. I think that card is like perfectly fine. You have enough selection to like stuff your hand with the cards that are worth discarding.
But it's nothing notable. But the level 1 combo is just like there's no selectivity. And you can
the UA combo definitely sucks ass. At the same time, if that combo was any better, this deck would be like really fucking obnoxious. It has like its utility cards are like actually so strong.
I think 8-door is better than Quince, but I would not say it's better than Assault Lily.
Sure, I can be fine with that.
Yeah, I can put it in the middle. That's fine with that. It's just the power in a standby meta is gotta acknowledge that.
It just seems really fun to play. You know, I mean, you have those games where you blind 3 doors and you're like, wow, I fucking hate this deck. Like, why?
It's just Union all over again, yeah. Except you don't have the pay 1 stock to pay it out.
Next you have 8-bar
Azure Lane.
You can convert this as however you want, but it's just Shinano top end. You can be like
it's
level 1 combo, Crane, Shinano.
It's just Taiho. It's Taiho Shinano. That is what it is every single time you would ever see this deck anymore. You can call it Crane.
I still see
level
Crane.
1. You sometimes you see Crane, but I feel like you see Taiho more than anything.
I heckin' love the cats, brother. I heckin' love slamming cats.
Yeah, it's playing cats and it's playing the dragons. The door plays the blue star, which I think is a better level 1, mind you, by like a significant amount.
I like bar door more than 8-bar by a lot.
I think 8-bar is a significantly easier to play top end, and it definitely is potent, and it plays well with the deck because you just build you do the same thing, right? They both just build 1,000,000 stock.
Yep.
And then you just yeet through your deck and you try to kill them. It's cheaper. It's easier to resolve. 8-bar means like you can realistically like go from like 4-hand to 6-hand and still be able to combo, or like 5-hand be able to combo still. Taiho is, after playing Kaguya, I have come to hate Taiho. However,
Taiho's
Taiho again.
Taiho's the one
stop. It's Kaguya, but it bounces to hand.
Yeah, so it's much worse.
What card?
It's the Kaguya Brainstorm.
Level 0.
Oh, yes. The bar. Yes. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
See, I get my ship screwed up all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not an
Azure Lane. It's so strong, but then I played Kaguya, and I'm like, damn, I wish Taiho was just this. I wish this card did not go to my hand.
I remember seeing a comment in card games where it's talking about Taiho, and it's like, wow, I love pretending I have a 5-card hand. Yeah,
you're playing on a 5-card hand.
Yeah,
it's really frustrating, actually. But
the red pill is you don't need it. You just slam down the cats, and you tell your opponent, is your first deck in a good configuration? If it's not, you lose.
Yeah, that's also frustrating.
Every time I play Azure Lane or Azure Lane is played against me, it's like I fucking hate sitting across from and piloting this deck. Because it's all it banks it not even banks. I think it benefits so much from first deck orientation that it's like, and it's so in your face to both players. It's like you can't even deny it. There's no amount of cope from either of you. I
played so many games with Evan playing this deck recently, like between this and Door, and like it always just came down to like,
did I eat?
Cats or not?
Did I hit 2 on first deck?
I'm like, no. Honestly, though, sometimes it feels just frustrating just having him be at level like 1, and he's randomly just slamming me for like 3s and 4s. This is like what you were talking about, but this is the deck that actually does that.
Yeah. And
Azure Lane is they go slam double Fuso, surge double Yamashiro, slam them down, and then they go slam a bar, swing for 4, and you're just like, yeah.
Yep.
Sure, dude, you got it.
My favorite is when they have like a 5 soul swing in the center lane at 0 and you eat it. Yeah,
and it's like, oh, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Very, very fun. But yeah, I mean, I think this deck is like a high tier 3, low tier 2. I would probably put 8 bar door in tier 2 and put 8 bar in tier 3. I think
it's better than Agilent, or it's better than
Assault Lily. It's better than Assault Lily.
I think it's
both
above.
Of them are better than Assault Lily. But
it's definitely above Arifreda, I think. I
think
the fact
high quality and
it's so simple.
Like, variety.
Would you play it over East Key? I think.
Yeah, I'm down.
No, I would not. Watching my local play this deck and get kind of frustrated with it, I think it has merits. Where this deck also shits out power, but it can only shit out power in like 1.5 lanes, which is like a big deal, I think. Because you get one lane to like really big, where it's like 12, 13k at level 1.
Is that what the blue level ones?
Lanes. Yeah, the blue level ones.
Yeah, the blue level ones.
Or you can get like one. You can get like 2 lanes to like 7, 5.
Wait, which blue level one? I think I'm on like 4 Rico on my list.
You play between the Rico, the bitch with the
summoner.
Big hat.
I play the summoner.
No, summoner. Okay. I don't think.
My list might be old.
No, maybe. I don't remember all the. I don't
it's
remember
like
all
a blue. I
don't play the deck.
Ones.
There's the one that's like flip top, get something 3k. You play the 1175 clock encore, and you play the Rico.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. No.
And you can just randomly pump a lane up like super high.
I forgot that card gave power anywhere and wasn't give to self.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I think that deck is fine too. Being able to legitimately play for that top end that we talked about in the set review with like the double restander single mocha is really cool.
It's actually viable in this deck.
It's super duper real.
Because people play the 1/1 clock encore, right?
Yeah. You do lose really poorly to
memory kick.
board decks and memory kick. I think like when you're playing against a board deck, sometimes it's so hard to like keep pace and like be able to maintain your hand over the course of turns to be able to actually do this, because you have to constantly brainstorm. You don't want to brainstorm.
Your 2 brainstorms have to hit 3+ every turn.
Or you want to like just not. You want to be able to like take a turn where you don't brainstorm, slam a bar, and like you just get to attack with like free shit with like cats or whatever and move on. That's when like it starts to feel really strong. But the second you're not, it's like
you don't get many opportunities to do that though, because your cards are so small. Like they went on offense.
You play against random bodyguard shit, like like Hololive can play bodyguard or the
bodyguard.
What's the other fucking bodyguard deck? It's Uma. Yeah, you play against like these things that just they get to throw a memory kick at you, and you're just like, fuck. This sucks.
Someone explain to me how there can be community backlash against a community tier list made by community.
Because the community that chose to vote had really bad takes.
The
community that did not vote mauled it.
Well, and it's also it's a little bit. We talked about this immediately after, like, why did it happen this way? And I think a lot of it.
People also love to vote on things they don't know.
JP in the West, especially right now, with like there being so many sets, especially like like there are scenes where like pad just doesn't exist, so like people have very like skewed opinions, and like people will pick things up. A lot of people who are just playing JP as like EN pre-test, like I know I do it or stuff like that. Like Lyco Reco was really high because if people like aren't playing Alice because they know it's going to get banned, and people are playing Lyco Reco because it's coming to English. Lyco Reco seems a lot better than it is, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so people like skews opinions. When you're not seeing the full scope of the meta in your locals, certain decks will look better. Like Chainsaw Man was like tier 1. I'll tell you right now, Chainsaw Man is not a tier. It's a real good deck. It's probably
it'll be a high tier 2, but it's not a tier 1 deck.
But it's not a tier 1 like top 3 deck in the format, no matter how you slice it.
But when your local comes in who just bought Chainsaw Man and they slam down like X bar and they trigger 3 bars at 2 and like heal from like 2-5 to like 2-2,
they just loop stock soul on you, right?
Yeah.
When you try to loop that stock soul on you, you're like, damn, you're just playing like safer 7 Deadly Sins. You're just slamming me with this combo. You're taking cards, but you're playing better cards.
Yeah.
Your top end's not better, but it's more frustrating in some ways. I think multiple ICLs is like really frustrating to play against.
Okay, well, we should see the conversation.
BDA door. I'm assuming
this is like a bottom
like tier 3.
This has to be. This is Yukina. This is Yukina. This is all Annie.
Yes, Japan.
You know what? It's fucking tier 4. Just fucking take it to. Is it? It's like top of tier 4. I think it's the
defensive
cut.
counter. It has anti-burn. It can break boards. It has good ways to break board at 1.
It's not as bad in English because
okay, wait.
Japanese because there's no.
If we're gonna put Ari Ferretta where it is based on the ability to break boards, then yes, then it has to. Okay, then yeah, it has to be near Ari Ferretta because it breaks boards better than probably Ari Ferretta does because it's simpler.
It doesn't. It definitely doesn't. Because Ari Ferretta just throws around power. Bang Dream has to kind of set it up and like use the Rinko.
Doesn't have to set up. It's just use the Rinko.
It has to. You have to pay stock for that.
I guess it's like use the Rinko, have the yellow background.
Plays the game, and it just throws power around.
But I think the top end, the top end for Bang Dream is so much better than Ari Ferretta. Yeah.
Oh, it is definitely better.
That's why
Kasumi is a better card, and then you have good EPs.
The Kasumi finisher is like legitimately so good.
I don't think you have very good EPs. I think EPs are still one of the weakest.
EPs are like non-existent.
That is true. Okay, you have better EPs than Ari Ferretta. Sorry, I thought you said you have good EPs. I'm like, you don't have good EPs. That is the reason I actually got rid of Bang Dream in the end, was because I did not. I like early plays. If my deck does not have a good mid game, I don't like it. I don't think Bang Dream is a good mid game.
That was the worst part about playing that deck, is like folding the mid game to like slime because you're like literally like Shizu was like too hard to clear and you're like, oh, it's just like, oh, I hate my life.
Literally you don't have a mid game.
Well, and Choo-Choo didn't work. Choo-Choo didn't work in the deck. I like tried so hard to play Choo-Choo.
It was too expensive. It was off color. It was so sad.
You had to high roll for that to work.
Yeah, I was not a fan. All right. Anyhow, next deck, Chainsaw Man. It is actually not Midsaw Man. It's crazy. This deck's actually like
it's pretty competent. It's pretty competent.
It's X-Bar, but we're talking about Stock Soul Bar.
Yeah, this is realistically it's Stock Soul. They play. You can see Pants Bar too. I think Pants Bar is perfectly
Pants
fine.
Bar sees play. 8 Bar sees play. But
people not strong enough to play. Katana Man. Katana Man's pretty sick when you go off.
Okay, that deck is sick when it goes off, but it also has to win lanes, and it's not going to win lanes.
It's one of those decks where, like, if you show up to the tournament, you run hot all day, like, that deck's unstoppable. But, like, Stock Soul Bar, the floor is so much higher. I wanted to play Katana Man so bad. That card's so cool. I know, I love
Himeno.
But, like,
Himeno, that card, dude.
Himeno is, like, way too cracked. Like, you play that card one time, and you're like, this is a climax combo level 0 that can feasibly grab its own climax every turn. And you're just like, yeah, because a spammable check 3 is just broken. That effect shouldn't be printed.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay. That is... I am on record for saying I think that is one of my favorite brainstorms since, like, Superstar.
It's broken! It's broken!
You touch that Superstar one, and you're like, this feels good.
Somebody resolved that against me one time, and, like, I saw what it did for their turn. And Superstar, I think it was like playing against Kit. And, like, he throws it down, like gets another Stock Soul, goes off again, and I was like, "That's a spammable check 3." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's the most that's disgusting."
And then, you get the Stock Soul combo, which is just like playing. It feels like you're playing Liz, but you don't have to overcommit board, which feels really nice. So you actually get to have a second back row that isn't a brainstorm, which is really cool. Well, it usually is a brainstorm, realistically, for like a large portion of the game.
It gives you another slot, which is great because you have the 2-1 off.
Yeah, now you get modular brainstorm instead of like double salvage brainstorm, which is really cool. Right? It's like having the Elaine and the Elizabeth at the same time. The Stock Soul combo is a level 0 spammable filter check 3 brainstorm with when you play the Stock Soul. I think it's beginning of attack phase or whatever. Sack the Stock Soul, look at top 3, add 2.
Yeah.
Add 2 Chainsaw Man characters or the 1/1 easier event that is like a core part of the top end for this deck. So it's really good.
So it's a combo that goes 1 copy, you just go +1 stock, +2.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, it's really good. You start looping this card over multiple turns because the brainstorm can provide you extra Stock Souls while also filtering your hand out. Super duper nice. You have a really good mid game in Chainsaw Man 2, which I think was like a big part of this deck for me. I
love Aki early play, brother.
That Aki early play is so insane. Your level 1 lineup is
gross.
You have 2 variations that you'll see. You'll see people playing the level 0 spawner with the 1/0 Kishibe, who is a 1/0. I think he's like a 4K that gets 3k per other. 3K? No, it's 3k, right? He goes 10k.
Yeah, okay, so 3k per other.
He goes himself. Yeah, it's like 3k for every extra copy of itself, up to 10k. Or you'll see them play the more safe conservative line, or they'll play a 1-0 Himeno that's an 8k on attack, clock swap kick thing on reverse your opponent's character if you have a card in memory, and there's a 1-0 Himeno that's offensive 6k or 6.5, whatever, 4k base, 4.5 base, whatever, and then it's on reverse of your opponent's character, pay 1, drop 1, rest 1, salvage 2. So you get like really good selection for your cards. I personally play that lineup. I don't own the Kishibeis. I would try the Kishibeis though. I think it's strong, especially in the current format where being 10k is relevant, like super duper relevant.
With like stuff like Hololive around.
I played the Kishibeis before 8 Standby Hololive took off.
Yeah,
and it felt pretty underwhelming.
With the 8 Standby Hololive, I think it's a lot better.
But like now where like the Himeno's not going to hit as often.
Himeno feels really strong though.
When Himeno goes off and you're like, grab the Aki, grab the perfect card. That Aki early play with the 2-1 Aki back row, that thing is like, you are in complete control of the game.
Yeah, so you have access to really cool cards. Like you have the 3-2 Aki. That's an early play if you have 2 or more of the event in memory. The event is a 1-1 tobacco. Sends itself to memory and it gives your 3-2 Aki on attack. You get to surveil the bottom card of your opponent's deck. Keep it or mill it to waiting room. So basically it's an Icy Tail. So it effectively makes your Icy Tail like a 6-card, 7-card Icy Tail until you see a climax. But you can do like funny stuff where you can look at it, see a climax, Icy Tail, and then start scrying for the next attack, which is cool. And then you get the 2-1, 2k assist to 3s. And it gives you a look at top 3 at the beginning of your clock phase and at the beginning of your attack phase. So you get to just know what's happening. You know if you need a clock. Sure, Patrick, if you have any insight. I don't know, you can throw it out there and I'll read it.
Easy, just gonna talk about 2-1 assist.
The 2-1 assist is like just actually I did not like that card and I was just wrong. That card definitely feels very strong. And just having that info,
that information
for your attack order, it really does mean a lot more than I give it credit for.
It's because you want to sit at 2 as long as possible. You want to extend the mid game as long as possible. You're trying to girdle out that 2 game. Well, it's just like I'm saying you're looking at that top 2, right? You're looking at that top 3. You're seeing those cards, and you're like, okay, this is my best line. Or like even like panic situations, right? You see like 2 climaxes there, and you're like, oh, okay, crack my Himeno, re-roll my deck. Like, you get, like, another chance to wait if you're not ready to go. You get, like...
Or you can just brainstorm and just gas through your deck, too.
Yeah, it's like the information's power. It depends. You get the timing on it is so good that you have all the information in the world. And, we keep gushing and gushing and gushing about this, but we noticed how it's not tier 1. I think this has to, like, for me, 100%, this has to do with finishing power. Where it's still just Icy Tail. It's still just random.
They're playing Kishibe because JP has now discovered the tech of a lane brainstorm and its synergy with Kishibe surviving the turn. That is true. That is also very strong. I did notice that they were playing the Lane brainstorm.
And
then they go plus on board. They go plus on board. You can
turn it into hand. Yeah. Something
it is very strong.
Something that SDS could never do because its cards always die.
Brother. When they did survive and you got to use that Elaine though, it
was insane. Yeah, it's nuts.
Okay, when the 1-0 survived.
Okay, that card randomly would survive more often than you would think, actually. But yes, like Patrick said, that's true. Rico on 4 copy. I mean, I'm also just a Rico stan. Kevin's a Rico stan. We love Rico.
I love Rico.
But yeah, Chainsaw Man really good. Probably near the top of tier 2. Probably top 5 deck right now. I think it's just not
top
tier
5?
1.
It's still random damage. It's still random damage based on your opponent's deck.
Aki is just not good enough as a top end. Everything else about this deck is great. Aki is still
He's a 2-turn. He's a 2-turn top end in a meta that doesn't get to 2-turn. Like he has the handoff core. He has this other stuff going on.
I think when
you're telling me this is a 1-turn.
Okay, but that deck has a ton of defensive counters that Chainsaw Man doesn't have access to.
True.
Yeah, it's true. Chainsaw Man literally doesn't have defensive counters.
Hololive is literally the only deck with enough defensive counters. Like
Mushoku.
But
Hololive is an exception, not the rule. I think, we are not in a format where defensive counters are prevalent and in a lot of strong decks, right? There are 3 decks right now, and they're all standby decks. So,
yeah.
But, I forgot that deck. Sorry, I forgot the choice door. I don't think that deck's very good. But
has anyone even?
I don't know. I don't know about that deck.
I've watched them play it on videos.
But not enough to give out good.
No,
not enough to give an informed opinion on it. Now,
if I can't give an informed decision, I will not comment.
But yeah, Aki, Icy Tail is really good, right? We know Origami Icy Tail is a strong card because burn 1x times is really strong, as opposed to just randomly packets of like 3s and 4s out of nowhere. Because when you hit in the end, you might be Icy Tail 6 a lot of the time, but it still doesn't feel very good, and sometimes you will still just miss. It's just what it is. So for that reason, I think Aki is not good enough to carry Chainsaw Man. Deck's still good though. I would queue this deck to like an event and like not feel bad about it. And I'm very excited for this deck.
Yeah, same.
It wouldn't be
love
my
playing
pick.
decks like that.
My pick would usually be Mushoku, but fine pick.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if Mushoku was unbanned, right?
I mean, Mushoku is unbanned. You're talking about English?
In an English event, I mean. Sure. Yeah, when I was talking about, and I would take this to an English event.
Okay, if Mushoku is unbanned, it requires Overlord and Alice to be banned.
Yeah. I mean, same thing I feel about 8 Standby Hololive, but
yep.
I'll get to that. I'll gush about that when we get
8
there.
Standby Gal.
So Gal's tier 4, right?
The 1-0 Tolka is back. They got the 1-0 Tolka back.
Deck sucks.
Tier 4.
Deck fucking sucks.
All right,
maybe tier 3 with Nino. It's like that and Nino are like the same fucking energy, dude.
No, dude, the Nino's so much better than Dao. Dao's so much worse.
You have
to sit there. Well, I didn't believe it, right? Like Brandon was on his cope lists, and like we were trying to fix it, and I was playing it, and like we were playing like mixed, right? As a while, like, and I didn't believe it was that bad, so I grabbed the deck and played it. Nope, it was that bad.
You have that bad. None of the utility cards that Nino will have.
You have Ari, so that's it, but that's not enough.
2 finishers. Just like
2021 no more, dude.
But you don't break board as quickly as efficiently as Quince does. And
Dao cards don't
having a plus and 1/1 combo standby is much better than just having vanilla 1/1s.
How far they have fallen.
Not the same.
Yeah, fuck Dao. Alright. They became God.
Also,
it's like
it's better than
it's worse Ari Ferretta, right? It's like
it's
like the same energy as Ari Ferretta. Is that other just coin flip you and then hope you die?
Yeah, but the thing is, Ari Ferretta,
you have to do so much more.
Yeah, Ari Ferretta gets free resources.
Ceiling is insane.
That is true. If you have insane stock in Ari Ferretta, you can literally just like ping forever.
That's what I'm saying. Like your ceiling in Ari Ferretta is so much higher than Day Became God. Day Became God does have a lower floor though, but it's also Hina is a 2-turn kill finisher, and I do agree with Carmen mostly. To be a 2-turn kill deck,
you have to have
real defensive counters, and they do not have defensive counters while they're doing it.
Oh, what do you mean? They have the 3-5 or 3-6 counter. Skip your opponent's turn.
Okay, cool. Anyhow, post-ban D-side.
That's not.
I actually think
double ban.
I actually think D-side's like. Tier 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
Carmen played it against me, and it was still like.
No, that was post.
Oh, that was post first.
No, I think two Aki hurts a bit, but does not.
You have to go. So here's the thing. So you used to be able, like, okay, way back in the day, there were 2 ways to play the Rando deck, right? There was Turbo Rando, which everyone agreed was wrong, and then there was Compression. And then, so you play the compression style, and then they ban the free fresh. And you're like, okay, all right. We can still kind of play the compression style. We just take a point of damage, and we got to play more healers. We got to do more stuff like that. We can still play only 1 or 2 2-1 and we're fine. And then they're like, okay, nope, rando to 2. Now every deck is just like slamming 3 to 4, 2-1, and you can't really play for compression anymore. You just have to like jam out the rando, because you can't hold a rando to play from hand to like heal from 3 anymore. You send both and you do nothing but play the 2-1s like every single turn. You get like anti-changed a single time. One of your randos just dead forever. Like you never get him out. He's just gone. You just lose the card, which super sucks. I think the fact that they have to go back to playing like those day 1 rando turbo decks makes it like definitely tier 3, and I don't think it's near the top. I think it's like it's worse than 8 Dorai Feretta, mate. That is
really. I think okay.
It might be in between those two. It might be in between
BD still, Carmen,
and Ari. Does it?
This deck has been seeing play.
Really? I guess so. It's like it's still burning for 4 and 2 is still good.
Efficient finisher, efficient top end.
Yeah, it's still doing stuff. Like
you still have the EP heal loop. You still have the free stuff.
More play.
Adachi's still annoying, except Adachi. Adachi's horrible against Hololive because you can't Adachi Luna.
Yeah, you can't Adachi Luna. Let's go. Luna's so good.
Yeah, giving +1 level doesn't do anything when she's level 0.
Woo!
DCT, like
I would rather bring D-Side than Bang Dream.
I agree.
Yeah, I get the rest of the deck is still dumb.
Rondo's still cool. Rondo.
Danmachi.
Rondo, my beloved.
Danmachi sucks. Put it in tier 4. Move this. Get this fucking deck out of here.
Better than
power. This deck's power is not special anymore.
Yeah,
like it's actually just not.
Yeah, Patrick, you're probably right. Most competent deck that is level 3 restricted to 2.
I can't fight that one.
Because they always had 8 available.
Yeah, it's because you have space to 6 copy.
Yeah.
6 copies, but you're legally only allowed to fill 2.
Okay, to be honest, how many
all the bonders as well.
How many of you guys play against D4DJ?
I don't know, dude. My one local.
I play against it a few times because my local is actually.
I have my one local who plays D4DJ.
It seemed perfectly fine.
He just plays the different band decks
all
the time, so I don't know how they work.
The Choice finisher.
This is up to you guys. I don't know shit.
I think Bar Choice is better. I think Bar Choice is the best version.
I feel like I see the Pants deck a lot though.
They both barely play.
On YouTube, like if I'm looking on YouTube, I feel like I always see the Pants deck popping up. Not
Pants like a good stuff deck.
Yeah, I mean I like good stuff decks. Although I do like I think the top end for the Choice deck is really cool though.
But I think you can also the fact that you can play the mix, the level 1 combo and level 3 combo. I do think the level 1 combo sucks though. But a level being able to play level 1 and play level 2 combo and having a good finisher. I just sometimes lose to the finisher though.
Yeah, the finisher's good. It's a really competent finisher. Like no doubt. I mean I'd probably put it in like high tier 3. Right? They're both probably like high tier 3, maybe bottom of tier 2.
I think it's better than the solo lane.
Yeah, sure, I agree.
Lane. And Pants?
Maybe not.
Okay, I've only played against Pants once and it kind of did nothing.
Sure, I'm okay with that. You can leave it like that. Like, I'm not really fighting here for D4DJ. I think they're pretty close to each other though, because I think Pants top end is worse, but I think Pants has better cards overall. Has been like how I've viewed it.
All right, now we have.
When you look at those cards, right, you're like, damn, these are real cards.
This
is about Pants, Disney. Okay. Wait, you put Pants. It's fucking Mickey, you bozo.
You see, there's a door. There's a door underneath it. You see the door underneath it.
I do see the door underneath it. Actually,
yes.
Yeah, you can see the black underneath.
Was this your hot? They play both bar and door, or did you just fuck up? And
I fucked up. I forgot. I forgot to put the pants. I forgot to take off the pants. I did the.
All right. Well, here's my experience against Disney. It's not the furries deck. The furries deck seems like Kevin, it sucks.
If you're gonna post this on Twitter, can you fix that first?
We're not gonna put this. We're gonna pretend.
You're not gonna put it on Twitter. You love putting your list on Twitter, though.
Let's pretend this.
All right, I am very experienced playing against Cinderella. Let me tell you, every time Tanner resolves Cinderella, he mills exactly all my climaxes in my deck, and then the rest of my deck is clean, and then I die.
Cinderella's fine. It's like
Cinderella is basically just a burn one finish.
It is really efficient combo. That you just shit out the card.
Dude, you're just more annoying.
You just get pinged. You just get pinged. Yeah, it is really annoying, Sakura.
Like
it's a perfect Tanner card. He loves it.
Every turn, you get one.
It's like Sakura, but your ceiling is worse because you can't get the 6 guaranteed burn. You can't get the guaranteed clock 3. It's usually just gonna be I'm refreshing my opponent 3 times.
Does anyone actually play the dogs?
Level 2, though.
Or is that just a Tanner
people
thing?
don't fucking play the dogs.
Dude, the dogs are cracked. They all have soul triggers.
They usually play bar or pants, bar level 0 or pants level 1.
Yeah, I figured it was.
And they just play the normal Disney cards.
You just play the furries at 0.
Level 1 combo. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's in with the level 0.
Yeah.
The level 0 combo's insane. Yeah, that combo's good. Well, dude, there are so many crazy level 0 cards for fucking like if you play green blue,
non-existent.
If you play like green blue, you're playing like
you play the Oz stuff for level 0s.
Well, no, you have the they have the assault lily, or not assault lily. They have the Azure Lane card, but it's on play and on death. The
which card?
It's the Frozen card.
The pants,
not Elsa, the other one.
That's only
it's for pants. It's for pants, and it's on play on death. Check.
No, I mean, the Spy Family has it too, and Spy Families is better.
Yeah, like that card's nuts. I think the Peter Pan, the Kome for zeros. That card's insane.
It's not Kome, it's an Azusa.
It's just an
Azusa, sure, whatever.
Yes, that card is good. The zeros in Disney are very, very strong.
I wouldn't know. I just get hit by 2 soul level 0.
It's level 1. So the reason bar Door is a deck, right, is because Door, like red, is literally the only way you have functionally good level 1 cards. Like actually, your level 1s in every other color are booty. So,
but I think
you get to play like.
I think playing towards Cinderella is much better than playing towards Mickey.
I personally prefer Mickey to Cinderella. I think Mickey has a better floor.
I think Cinderella.
You get a Fumio or a Burn.
I've only ever seen Cinderella.
A Cinderella.
I play against Door a lot.
You loop Cinderella level 1 though, or level 2 though.
Yeah, I know. It tries to.
You mean 2 at 3? It's an early play combo.
He meant you loop it at level 2. You're trying to stay at level 2 and slam the card down 2 or 3 times.
Oh, you don't try. Ideally. You're not compressing that. So you're not trying to heal down, but it's kind of like a similar.
No, you just mill their deck and
try to accelerate.
Do as many refresh points as possible.
Yeah,
and it's fine. Cinderella's fine. I personally like that Mickey gives you the best of all the good cards because you get to play you can play the Flynn Riders, and you can which I think is still a really good card. You get to play the red EP as just an extra healer. It's fine. Mickey is very relevant and affordable. The level 1 shit and the level 0 shit in Mickey is busted. The Chip and Dale is stupid. The mini is broken. Having the Rui shirt is fine.
There's no Goofy movie cards, dude. Fuck that shit.
Dude, that mini makes me so upset. Every time I see that card get played on the board, because it can add climaxes. It's just on play. Look at 3, add a card, ditch 1.
What's that song?
Wow.
Eye to eye. Yeah, there we go. The Goofy movie.
I think they're both probably around the same tier of strength, though. Realistically, it's how you want to play the deck.
See, someone in chat knows, dude. The fucking dogs, dude.
Yeah, of course, John. They're both probably tier 2 decks, right? I think they're both very good and very competent at what they're both trying to do. They have a very clearly different game plan on how they want to play the game. Where Mickey will play the game out, Cinderella's trying to speed the game up really fast. It's just trying to slam you, which maybe that's why normal. The other deck's
coin flip. The one deck is trying to play
Cinderella's not even coin flipping you. It's kind of like a Love Live Sunshine, but it's you know the damage you're doing. Mm-hmm. Where you're this aggressive early play, push some damage deck. Except you're only pushing burn 1s every time you do it.
Yep.
I mean, which is fine. It's costless burn 1.
It's fine, but sometimes it also fucks you because they mill the dog. Refresh your opponent's deck and their deck was not very good, and you put them back into a new deck and their deck is actually good.
They dog
swing into them.
No, you don't.
If Cinderella hits a cancel, it legitimately feels like the worst deck in the game. That is it. I have never been the one playing Cinderella, but as the receiving end of Cinderella, every time they swing a Cinderella, I mill 24, and then I flip into a cancel on the attack. I'm just like, damn, you're...
Jesus fucking Christ, stop bragging. I've never canceled a Cinderella swing in my entire life. Every time I sit down against Tanner is a nightmare. He like swings in, mills all my climaxes, the Manila swing always hits. He like, and then the next turn he's like, dog storm, double dog storm, always hit. What do you mean? I'm playing good decks. What are you talking about?
Yeah, okay. If you say so. Like a Reco. So, lol.
No, not like a Reco. I can't say
I think these are both like low tier 2. They're probably like near Feretta. Maybe better than Azure Lane, maybe worse than Azure Lane. Somewhere in that
just put one up.
Maybe.
Like, you fucked up the other one, so just put up like Cinderella.
I mean, maybe high tier 3. Like it's like the same energy.
Yeah,
it's
high
like,
tier 3. It's fine.
I don't know. I think it's around where 2 Soul Feretta is.
They have too many cracked level zeros, dude. They have too many cracked level zeros. That 0 with 2 Soul. What's wrong with that card? Why did they print that?
They don't play that card, Carmen.
What do you mean? All the cards I see, all I see is every level 0. It's 3 2 Soul level 0s, and he triggers a dog in every lane. And then Jason goes, only Azure Lane outputs 4 Soul at level 0. And I go, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not real. That's just.
What do you mean? It's always real, dude. They tap the Pongo, they get a card. Pongo,
you're just getting cannered, bro.
Dog Storm's fucking.
Do you know what the level 0 lineup looks like? Unironically,
no, I'm completely kidding. Yeah, I know what the real decks are.
Yeah, it's like 4 Peter Pan, 4 of the Zootopia, the Tinkerbell, the other Aladdin. That's like the Bell thing.
Yeah.
It's like the Woody, the Chippendale. Like, that's all their fucking cards are. Jasmine, sometimes they play Sleeping or Snow White, sometimes they don't. I think that card's also really good.
Don't clown on Dogstorm. Dogstorm's real. Pongo's
Dogstorm, okay, if you're playing that deck, that card's actually real. But
yeah, you play 15 hits, you tap it, you get a card.
It's a board breaker deck in a board based meta, so it's probably at least high tier 3. I think that deck is still real.
I think it pops up quite often.
I don't know enough about it.
I've played it with you, haven't I?
I played it. I played into it. I played into it many times. Every time, it's like always after the event, I go like, "Oh, Zach, you do own that deck. I could ask to borrow that." Yeah.
This deck plays a legitimate 4-turn game. Like every game you play,
you just slam pants every turn. Like
you slam the pants every turn, and you just say, the second I hit 3...
I think a Brainstorm. Brainstorm is actually fucking...
That Brainstorm's so good.
Okay,
no, Brainstorm's the Rin or whatever.
Brainstorm is your combo. It goes out, combos off your finisher CX, but it's basically a top check stock.
You never have a blank... Yeah, you never have a blank bar, like a blank pants. It's so sick.
And you just smash Brainstorm. That's what always happens when I play against that. Like, you just play any pants.
They slam double Brainstorm, mash Brainstorm, slam pants.
Yeah.
And they're either getting hand or stock back. It doesn't matter. And they're gonna play their cards down. They're gonna swap into their cards, play their cards back down, pick up more of the Megus or the Mayas.
If you play board base, they get like a 14k can't play back.
They drop the 3/2 EP and the bouncer and they break your board and it's just like, okay, yeah, very cool.
It's a very
good deck.
Top tier? No, I think there's defensive decks.
It doesn't heal very well. It's like a big thing.
It's just an all-in finisher deck.
It has to play the game. It's really good at doing it, though. It's really, really good at doing it. But that is its problem.
Well, I think it loses two defensive cards harder than
Yes, it does lose 2 events. It loses to like
-3 really souls as well. -3 soul counters. And shit.
It does. Now that those are super prevalent, there's like Chainsaw Man, but money counter also hurts it really bad. But that's because I think they pay the
We're talking about Gochiusa. He pants Gochiusa.
Yeah, pants.
It's always like a random deck that's just like any kind of meta is like in a wonky spot.
You'll know, yeah. When you see the format as board cards, you will see Gochiusa like being played. Because like no deck breaks boards like Gochiusa breaks boards actually.
All right. 8-win heaven.
So my local plays this deck, has been playing this deck every single week since he got it.
What the fuck? What a fucking trooper.
He really likes this deck. I also think this deck is pretty good, actually.
I mean, bodyguard plus being the win shit plus gang.
Yeah, bodyguard. Your level 1 combo is like
it's like an Escanor like finisher.
You know, your level 1 combo is actually pretty good. Like Magro time, end of attack Magro, and then optional time machine. Would like it could just go to it doesn't have to win the lane. It just can just go to memory. It's like pretty good. I
don't think this deck's crazy good though.
It's crazy good. It's probably like a high tier 3 deck, but
I think Zero still sucks.
This is the deck that's like 7 Deadly Sins, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's 7 Deadly Sins, but they start doing it at level 2. Like it's probably near Gochu, so I think it's better than Apar Azure.
Like anytime you have an empty lane, you can
you get hit Escanor that lane. Yeah, it's a 2/1 that says if it direct attacks Escanor with a wind. So obviously you're playing winds and stuff to like try to force extra lanes, and it has like a cute Hail Mary option with a 3/2 you can be playing. But usually what you're doing is you're looping your bodyguard with a 2/1. It's like the Makima, right? It's a 2/1 like 12/5 off turn. For like a turn cycle, and you just kind of loop that card in the lane and just put Escanors on the side lanes once they start opening board. Because you're just defending that card with like any change counter.
The only time, yeah, go ahead. I was like, the only time I ever played against this, they just exploded, so I never really caught what happened.
Yeah, they have a lot of like dig for climaxes and stuff. Heaven Burns Red, yeah. So they have like the pay 1, drop 1, draw 2 is a pretty neat card. They have like, I think their zeros are fine. They're not great. The coin flip mill runner card is really cool. The cherry is fine. I think the wind brainstorm is pretty good. The rest of it, yeah, leave something to be desired. It's like whatever. But
yeah, the identity of the deck is pretty much all into you get bodyguard does bodyguard thing, then you get to go off.
It's pretty relevant into the meta right now, though. I think because you can do this at 2, you can just slam it, and if you can protect it even versus the board-based decks, which is like very reasonable to do. That card is fairly big, and you have counters. And a lot of these board-based decks don't hit offensive power; they only hit defensive power. So you can like stick it.
I didn't think Uma Bodyguard is better though.
Sure, but we're not putting. There's a reason we're gonna. Uma's gonna be higher than stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I think this deck is good. I think if it had a defensive counter, it would be a lot better. It have the option to play defensive counter alongside Escanor, but I don't know if they have one. If it's off color, whatever. Or if they just don't have it, I have no idea. But they don't play it. But I think it's still pretty fine. I think it does what it does, and it has a very clear game plan, and you just play towards it.
All right, 8 standby hall live. I'm gonna go make another drink and hit the bathroom. Jason, go off.
I love this deck. This is my favorite deck.
I've witnessed it all day yesterday.
This deck is tier 1, baby, to the moon. This deck is so fucking goated.
As long as you're not getting preyed upon by full power over Alice.
Yeah.
Even with bombs, like unless they're doing like multiple lanes bombs.
But yeah, because you can play Bacana to field swapper and stuff. This deck is Luna was legitimately one of the most broken cards to be printed in Hololive Set 1 that just had no way to be functionally supported.
Yeah.
That was her issue. There was no ground for her to stand on and just show people just how absurd this card is. But if you ever played against 8 Standby Hololive in Set 1, when they had a good game and they dropped like double Luna to the front row, it felt unwinnable. Because this card, it does everything. It's 11/5 base.
So it's
you have to front it. You can't Adachi it. You can't anti-change it because it's level 0. You can level 0 bomb it, but those aren't really in format right now, so people aren't playing them. You can play it to hate the deck, but then like if you play a bomb to hate 8 Standby Hololive, which is like a really strong deck, but not an overrepresented deck, you're making your deck worse versus like the general field. Which maybe that's fine for you if you have good bombs, like go for it. But you also have to like play a bomb down at level 3 then, and then you're opening a lane. That's not also good for you either. But the card has when it's fronted, you get to look at the top card of your deck, and you get to keep it or mill it. And it also has on reverse your opponent's character, ditch a Hololive character, burn one. So it just does like everything a standby card could legitimately do. Too bad nobody plays Mushoku except like Kevin and I. That deck fell off really fast. I think
that deck still plays. He's playing.
It's his play, but not not like this. I think this deck just does what Mushoku wants to do, but better. But
it has infinite hand because you play 2 plus zeros of 2 plus standby combos that isn't required to reverse anything.
Ozki gives you infinite selection for your cards. This deck also has a lot of power pump. It has a lot of offensive power pump, like out of nowhere, between like the Ozki, the Polka Amagi, the Toa the Toa level 0.
And if they play the Iraha coin flips. If they play it.
Sometimes they play Iraha coin flip.
Most people
don't.
Bomb, but the coin flip is like an option.
I've seen people play like a split of them, or they'll cut into the Toa to play the coin flip too.
You have 2k assists, global 1/5s, 1/5 assists.
You have a 2/1 1/5 assist, so your level 1s are 9Ks.
And if they can still threaten your Luna, you do what Dal did and just swap it. Have any danger.
That card is really good. It is not. So they have a 2/1 field swapper. It's not as good as the Yoshino in some ways, but I think what's really strong about that card is that it is on attack, 7k, 1k for each other. So like it attacks at 11k, which means it can actually beat over things.
11k
like very
after,
reasonably.
Yeah, after boost, like after a 2k assist, it's 13k, which is respectable.
Yeah, 2k assist or behind Peko, it's 12-5. Ozki pumps, whatever. It can like hit really respectable powers, win the lane, and then you can use it to like field swap something you stand by in the back row. So like if you stand by a Luna to the back row, you can put that Luna onto the board, and you're just constantly threatening this card to the board, and your opponent has to respect it and play around it, which is like really frustrating actually. And they can't do things like try to beat Luna.
Is he done yet?
No,
he's not.
They can't pre-field bombs, whatever. This deck gets the search tap counter, which I think is really strong. They have access to the anti-burn event if they choose to play it. I'm on it right now. It's pretty cool. You can play the Aki Bodyguard. I think that card's also very strong and kind of slept on. You get to have like an 18k plus Bodyguard.
You can play the Fubuki that pumps 4k.
I actually cut that card. I just cut that card for the Miko Curl Bomb. I like never saw myself stand buying the card.
I'm hyped to play this deck.
Yeah,
Can't wait to get my cards.
Is just a really feels good standby deck because you're not like other standby decks.
Big pillow fort, dude. Big pillow fort.
Yeah, so I think a big issue with a lot of standby decks that aren't Mushoku and Hololive specifically is always that like your standby turns feel really lackluster. Because this deck has just 2 different combos it can slam at all times and a really good Amagi. You just literally have hand forever.
My only problem when I was watching this deck is that if you have a shit game and you're eating a lot of damage, there isn't too many like healing recovery options.
Yes, you have like 2 to 4 Miko, the Miko bomb if you play the bomb, and you have the Luna or the IMA EPs, and you're only playing like 1 or 2 of each, realistically.
Yeah, I was watching
your healing is very, very lacking. You make up for it by having defensive scries, and like you can aggressively tap counter them at 2 and like still be fine, which I think is like pretty good.
Join leg, there's some backlash on why exactly. It's just a lot of like decks that people felt like
happy with
the
placing in the community
too
list.
High or too low. Even ourselves, we looked at it as like some of these decks are placed too high, some of these decks are placed too low.
Yeah, they felt like they were not aware of a lot of decks.
It was a small sample size. It ended up only being like 50-something people, and those 50 people can skew a lot.
Yeah. But overall, though, I will not keep going about this deck, although I could talk about this deck for a while, because I think this deck has like a lot of insane merits. In English, you probably won't see this deck very much until things get banned. I think it's Overlord and Alice getting hit was like a huge boon for this deck, because it really needed these like early board decks or like board blowing up decks to just not exist anymore. But deck good. We like 8 standby Hololive.
Gura.
I mean, this deck is just like boneless version of itself, but it plays the same, right?
Yeah. Without Ame, you will not consistently triple anymore. You just double.
It's still a tier 2 deck. It's probably like middle of tier 2. I think it's still a minimum double Gura.
I think it's better consistently still.
Maybe
it might be. It has the results to make me want to say it is. Gura is still an extremely frustrating finisher.
The example of these builds, you can go to my website, WordPress.com.
Wow, you have a Google Chrome Kato background, dude.
Yeah, dude. Fuck you.
I said that forever. Just post the link to
yeah,
just post your link to your thing. You can see examples of basically every deck we're talking about. This is basically what we refer to a lot of the time.
Yeah, you just go to Kevin's blog. Kevin does all the hard work of actually treading through the insane.
Bro, he doesn't do a lot of hard work. This man opens a single hashtag on Twitter.
Okay, it's not one hashtag.
Okay, no. That you say that that's
hashtags.
easy, but it's actually not easy. I've gone diving in that shit before. It sucks.
Here, I'll show you my setup. How I do.
Look, I'm down to bully Kevin every day of the week, but for that.
Also, Kevin, I think it's really funny that when you click on your newest one and you look at eight standby Mushoku, it says 5 decks, and then you wrote 8 standby Mushokus.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Whoops, my bad.
Oops.
Wait, what'd you do?
So five decks for
Tenseis, and then you wrote 8 standbys.
Because I was just thinking about 8 standby.
Yeah, 8 standby.
All right, here's how I do it. Here's how I find all of this. Look at this mess.
This looks about right. Scroll, click.
Oh, you do it on TweetDeck. Okay, yeah, it's probably a little easier.
Cause you can't easily make an easy bot for this because there's so many random fucking posts. Look at this shit. I scroll.
Damn, I need to get those like a Reco PRs. Not because I care about putting them in my deck, but because they're really cute.
Just buy them in English.
See, I had to scroll all the way down here.
I hope they come out in English.
I scrolled through like 10 posts just to get one that I can retweet.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, that is Kevin's methods. We don't care though. He just look at his thing on like Sundays or Mondays whenever he posts them. But
usually I try to do Sunday, but if I'm busy on Sunday, I'll do Monday. Like this week, I was busy Sunday, so I did Monday.
Deck is good. I don't really know if we have to talk too much about the deck. It's the same deck. You're going to be seeing it in English for the next forever, unfortunately. Unless the Bushi is based. If Bushi bans this list, I will not let a single person bitch and moan that this deck did not get its time in the sun. I don't want this deck to get its time in the sun. It is not a fun deck. It is not like Kaguya. It is not like Seven Deadly Sins. This deck is not a real deck. They don't play Weiss Schwarz. They just go to a casino and they lottery you. And they just go and they hit a slot machine. And a lot of the time, they don't need a lot to win. They just have to hit like once. And they're playing the game for like 20, 30 minutes. It's really, really, really frustrating. Fuck this deck.
Yeah.
They also can just threaten stock swap all the time. Like, actually. Not GP as much. But they still do like double plus stock swap, and it's
my friend was so spooked. He was 1-5 and almost died from Gura.
7 stock is still double Gura plus stock swap, and that's like fucking ridiculous, actually.
My man was 1-5, and if he could have died.
You can low roll and die. Like, okay, I don't think double Gura will kill you from like low 2 anymore, like reasonably, but it can still happen. Like it's very, very reasonable. Oops, my ping 1 to 2 of your climaxes. Goodbye.
It's degenerate,
whereas Alice actually needs to play. Because the way other Alice turn, you can legitimately fuck up the Alice turn if you're just trying to be like, haha, I can play Alice too, smile. You can actually like see that difference. But both are frustrating in different ways. But yes, I would rather have somebody play Alice than play Oskiger against me, because at least against Alice, I feel like I get to play the game.
Alright,
yeah, this deck is still really good.
Yo, this is a tier 1 deck from Indonesia.
It's probably like around Chainsaw Man, right? Maybe probably like between like around Chainsaw Man and Quince. Like I don't think it's.
I think it's better than Quince.
Probably, it's probably better than Quince. It still has a really good game plan. It got better zeros to fix up its thing. Unfortunately, Kanazagura didn't get to see any time in the sun where it would have. That was pretty cringe. But
I still don't think Kanata. There's like no reason to ever play Kanazagura.
I mean, there's a reason to play Kanazagura when Standby Pants gets hit. I'm hoping English actually does a harder hit than JP does. Like, they acknowledge that this deck is still seeing play and they just hit it a bit harder. That would be my hope. But yeah, I mean, Kanata Marine is good. We've been seeing this deck for a year now.
But the problem with Kanata Marine is that why play that when we can play the other two?
Yeah, that is this thing. Like, it is not the best board-based Hololive deck. It is not the best at killing you Hololive deck, but it is really good at healing. That is its thing. It's always been its thing.
Stop talking about English. Yeah, fuck you, Jason. Stop talking about
I'm sorry.
English. It's just you fucking.
Sorry. We'll talk about that later. I can't help it. Yeah, I know. It's just relevant. I'm sorry. Anyhow,
fucking Idolmaster does. What does this deck do?
Nothing.
It pants. It's pretty vanilla.
What's an Idolmaster? Is that like Love Live?
Oh, you're gonna trigger so many people with that.
Yeah, I know.
8 pants is the restander Icy Tail thingy, yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's the Julia.
I know what Idolmaster is.
I mean, I don't think any of us have enough really experience to bother talking about it.
Yeah, do it. We can play Weiss. No one else in my local can play
Every time I see this deck played, it
doesn't do anything.
You play the
I'm
level
trying to put this deck in like
it's
just smush it in the middle of like tier 3 somewhere and move on. Like that's probably like where the deck reasonably is. Like I've seen it played. I don't play it a lot. Just put it next to like fucking D4DJ or something.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't have any like information about Idolmaster.
I think D4DJ.
I'll default to literally anyone who has any information.
It's like it does its thing. It has some really cool. It has some cool cards, but not a lot of cool cards.
Key
sucks. Key fucking sucks.
No, I think Key's still a tier 2 deck.
So gutting the events just killed it.
Key is like bottom of tier 2.
Losing the finishers kills it that hard.
Decompression just killed it.
Okay, so I have been playing Pants Door. Right, I play Pants Door, Pants Doors, Pants, whatever, right? Shiroha fucking sucks.
Yeah, we knew that. Even I gave up on that shit.
No, okay. It feels good sometimes, right?
Well, yeah, when the game's already going okay, sure. Like
no, it doesn't have to go like okay. Shiroha is okay even when the game isn't going like super great. The problem is if you play the door, you give up your ability to like loop level 1 combo for most of the game, which is a really big deal for that deck still, because that is all that deck really ever can do, ever.
Well, yeah, that's what it was supposed to do. Like,
yeah, and like I had some games with it at locals this week where like I didn't see a single level 1 combo, and that deck felt unplayable. Like you just can't.
Wait, what's your split then? You're playing like Pants?
I played 5 Pants, 3 Door.
Okay, 5 Pants, 3 Door. Okay.
That's the most common line if you play Door. If you play
I have not back to play 8 Pants. But
I have not played any post-ban Key.
Yeah, I was humoring it because I found it and I was like, oh, I should mess around with this. Why not? I've seen it get played a bit. I think you have to play 8 Pants if you're gonna play the deck, but 8 Pants has a very large weakness of you don't have decompression tools anymore, which is a big deal.
When you're burning for 7 factorial, yeah.
Okay,
it's a big
but
deal.
the same can be said about East Key.
No, it can't.
You don't have the decompression tool. Come on, man.
Itsuki is a mocha.
Mocha is a decompression tool, quote unquote.
Itsuki has the thing in itself, and I think Itsuki has a better mid game than this deck. Like Itsuki has an actual like mid game that can play.
Bro,
do you know what Key's mid game is, Kevin?
Yeah, he just loop combo. Hell yeah, baby.
It's loop level 1 combo and play that one shitty stack to heal the stock.
Yeah,
it only works if you don't queue into standby or a mid
can legitimately
board matchup.
Play healers and not detriment its top end to play healers. Which is
healers that also stand a chance of winning board against other 1k1 decks, by the way.
Like Itsuki has a mid game. He has no mid game. He is. I'm going to hand on core, slam my pants.
Does nothing.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
yeah, Kevin, you also told me that English Psychon was a good deck.
It is.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyhow,
as long as you don't run into
you're a fucking liar.
Bro, last time I brought locals 2 weeks ago, I went 3-1.
You're just a high roller, Kevin.
Yeah, you're just a fucking high roller, dude.
Or maybe your locals just sucks and you're just one of the best people there.
At least I admit when I sack. Jesus, this guy.
I think I would still concede that Key is still probably a tier 2 deck. It is probably very low in tier 2. I still think Misuzu is has a lot of crazy text on it. The level 1 combo is still very good. The package is still very good. Your level 0 still feel insane. Black Panther's broken.
Zeros are really good, yeah.
The Clock Swapper is like actually the best card in the deck. Like that card is
that card's
insane.
Nuts.
And double high quality.
Card feels so good.
It's like
and then the fact that you get to turn one event into a splittable like 3k counter double 15 split, and double hand encore, blue hand encore, which matters because you can dump the events and whatnot.
Yep.
Anytime that game gets to play the game, it feels like one of the best decks in the game. The problem is, like, if you don't combo every single turn, it feels kind of shitty.
7 factorial is so much damage.
It is very scary too. Yeah, you sit there against a single Misuzu, and you can't defensive counter that deck because they're just.
That's also it's
they
like
don't care.
That's also like there's a lot to be said for that being the funniest line of like text in Weiss Schwarz you can say.
Burn
I think
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
burn
6, 7,
burn 7 factorial. Like they're like what? It's like you don't remember
I think another thing
factorial.
he said is that there isn't a lot of decks that compresses in the game.
I mean,
it's like what slime.
So it's gonna be slime. It's gonna be
and the random.
Well, no, it's gonna be 8 stand by Hololive. That deck is not contesting 8 stand by Hololive in any.
Yeah, but Hololive
8 stand by Hololive sits on stock. Yeah.
That well.
I mean, it compresses when you don't.
It's not. It's not gonna compress.
Chainsaw Man. Patrick's right.
I mean, it's gonna sit there on like 10, 12 stock if you don't answer its board, right? If you don't force that deck to do things, it's just gonna sit there and exist and be like, okay.
Okay, Kevin.
I'm gonna slam my Mios over and over, and I'm
gonna hit you with something. I'm gonna hit you with something, Kevin.
Well, no, of course not. But
in a world of modern utility cards, where every card sucks your dick and hands you $200 at the same time, being a deck that quote unquote doesn't compress requires you to be doing something that specifically doesn't compress you, because literally any deck under the sun that plays these modern utility cards can reasonably become insanely compressed because they have free fucking double stockouts, free fucking hand filters. Like, there's literally no way under correct play that these modern decks like, you have to be doing something like Kana Tamarin, Overlord, to like say this deck quote unquote doesn't compress. And even that isn't true, because all of these decks have these insane modern cards where, like I said, every card sucks your dick and gives you $200. Like, it's insane.
I do think you are right that most decks are not compressing like Alice, but Alice also compressed in a really bullshit way. 8 standby, Hololive, Chainsaw Man, even Ozkigura can legitimately just naturally compress against these decks that don't contest them very well or force them to do anything that they don't want to be doing anyway. Which is what that deck does. It doesn't force these. If a deck gets big enough, it just does not force the deck to do anything. Which is a big issue, I think, against 8 Choice Quints. It's a big issue against not having the decompressing tools against things like Ari Ferretta and Azure Lane are really big. Chainsaw Man, 8 standby Hololive. Like, there's enough decks that compress to a reasonable amount where Misuzu isn't scary. Like, it's strong, and like you still have to respect it, but you're not like, I'm just fucking dead. Like, I'm acting.
I'll triple down on that analogy.
Yeah, it's Carmen's new favorite.
Yeah,
I think it's tier 2. Like, I will concede it's tier 2. I would probably even put it above Disney. I would respect somebody more for queuing Key than queuing Cinderella.
I don't know. I just don't think decks get compressed where stock matters. Even Chainsaw Man's compression is
okay. What do you consider? What do you consider to be compression, Kevin? What do you consider to be a compression deck state? If you're only considering compression in the modern meta to be 8-pan slime, then I think that your definition is a little too rigid.
Like, I think sitting there, having your opponent sit there with like 10 stock, 7 hand, and probably like.
But if you're playing like a deck that just spams CXs, like 8 pants, or like 5 plus pants.
The problem is it's trying to, right? But it can't always get there, and that's the problem. Is the deck had a legitimate fallback to when the game went bad and your opponent hit things because you're not contesting them, so their deck gets better and better and better as you're just trying to scrape by slamming pants and just trying to stick the damage. But if you don't, they cancel whatever. They have a good first deck. Then all of a sudden, the game gets really hard for you. And now that all the deck sits there and does it, so, well, I'm going to try to play my game. I'm going to get as much damage as I can, and then I'm going to go stock swap Fumio, Misuzu, die. And that is their fallback. They are the Ozkigura before Ozkigura was printed, but it didn't feel as bullshit because you saw them doing it the whole game, right? They didn't just have like one turn where suddenly they like, oh, I can kill you next turn.
You can also like play around Fumio and stuff.
Yeah, and you can also stock swap that deck, and that deck just explodes the same way. You could if you stock swap.
100%. Stock swapping key blows up. They explode.
So now they can't, but now they don't have to play for a lot of stock, so they don't blow up as hard. They sit on like 8 to 10 stock, and usually like 8. And because they don't have to bother playing stock swap Fumio, they just need enough stock to Misuzu and play its cards out for the turn, and then do its thing.
I'll be honest though, I don't see a lot of decks hitting like 8+ stock.
I think they hit it when they play against Key.
Bro,
when they play against the things that don't contest them, they do.
What are you playing against, and who are you playing against? Because I feel like these modern decks with these like modern filtering profiles, these utility profiles, if you can't hit like these insane compression rates that like decks focused on compression were hitting 3-4 years ago, you're literally just playing wrong. Like these cards these days are absolutely nuts. If you can't leverage these things into insane compression, I don't think you're playing the game right.
Stock
like,
is kind of hard to get nowadays with all these fast games. IMO.
What?
I think stock
unless I'm playing against a deck that specifically is stock charging.
Well, again,
I do not
more so what I'm saying is the games, right? Because the only games where Key needs stock swap Fumio are the games where it doesn't stick the early damage slamming pants like it tries to do, right? Same issue Azure Lane has, like legitimately, is they try to slam you, and if they hit it, super sick. Like if they hit you, you're fucked. The game's over. This game sucks. Go next. If they don't hit you, then they're all of a sudden they're pushing you into a really good next deck really fast, and it makes it harder for them to play the same game plan that they're trying to play over and over. It's like a compounding issue, and it's always been a compounding issue with these decks that slam you. It's an issue with Pad too. Yep. I see it the same thing when I play Pad. Like, and the problem is Key has legitimately zero means to decompress you anymore. So if Key gets stuck in those games, it doesn't have the out it had before, which was really, really big. Because
yeah,
I've been
it's relying on
release,
its opponent
right?
eating early so that it doesn't have to push.
I have legitimately played this deck since it came out. The air thing was the 8-pants thing was the first thing I sleeved, and it's really fun. It was really fun. I don't think it's as fun now. And you know, it did feel like bullshit being able to just go stock swap Fumio, Misuzu, go away. Because you didn't care if they compressed. Because you're like, yeah, sure, you're going to grind me out. You're going to compress against me. Die. And we're going to go next. Because that deck, because you're also compressing, that deck can legitimately take turns, right? Like, you can sit there at, like, 3 and not feel like you're going to die because you're sitting on a bunch of stock, especially against somebody that doesn't have stock swap. Which, unfortunately, I think a lot of relevant decks don't actually have stock swap.
Yeah. That is a thing.
But, whatever.
Whatever, we can move on. I think
it's good deck. I think Key is a good deck. Well, I mean, we're also talking about like it's a endemic of the game as it stands. But yes, I think it's fine. Like I do agree. If the game goes fast, you won't compress, and that's the game that ideally Key wants to play. But I'm not talking about the game Key wants to play. I'm talking about the game Key doesn't want to play, which sometimes it has to. That's where it falters. On to Kaguya though. You know, new thing, right? 8-door. This is the level 0 stock charger thing, right, Kevin?
You can't play this in English because you don't get the you don't.
Yes, you cannot play this in English.
You can't play both Drop Search and Ricky in the same deck.
Well, okay, English. So you can play this in English. You can't play their list in English specifically because they have a different ban list than us.
Well, it's a different. They have the wrong
ban list for some reason. You can't play Ricky and Drop Search in the same deck.
Yeah, they can play. We can play K and Drop Search, which I think is infinitely worse.
Infinitely worse.
But it is much worse.
Is so much better.
My entire binder page of
I think God, if
Chica Ricky's.
I would play 8-door. I would have played 8-door if I could have played Ricky with that stuff, like legitimately.
It was sick. I tried the JP list the one time because I was frustrated with the English list, and it's like insane.
Probably like a tier 3 deck, right? Like a high tier 3 deck. It's like
I think it's high tier 3.
Probably like near HB, probably better than HBR, maybe worse. I don't know. It's like an Azure Lane deck, right? It's minimum better than Azure Lane. I would play this deck over playing 8-bar Azure Lane, minimum.
You would play.
I play it over 8-bar, but I wouldn't play it under Bar Door. Bar Door is better than Kaguya for sure.
Kaguya has access to level 0 stock swap and a deck that stock charges a lot, so it always has that going forward, which is very strong. It's always my favorite part of playing the bar level 0. I play the bar level 0 a lot, just not with Door, obviously. I don't know, I mean, the deck plays mostly the same as like all the other ones. It just has a better finisher now, and like it makes the stock feel really good, right?
I think Argelane has like a huger payoff of a finisher.
100%. That's why I'm not arguing about that. I'm just saying it's better than 8-bar. I don't think it's better than Bar Door.
It's basically the same finish as 8-bar, but
very similar.
Now you have better utility.
And you also, your brainstorm is not making you play on 7-hand. Thing you play, it's not making you play on 5-hand. Thing you play on 7-hand, which is cool.
All right, I think that's the short one.
Yep.
If you play any of the door variants in English, then you know somewhat what this deck does already.
Yeah. It's
just swap finishers and you can throw in like claw kicks, more claw kicks.
Dragon Maid.
The
deck is just put it right next to 8-bar Azure Lane. Legitimately.
Yeah, it's the same deck.
I think I'd rather play
the most underrated deck. I'd rather play every single.
I would rather play Kobayashi's than play 8-bar.
I'd rather play Kobayashi because
and I would still rather play Bar Door Azure Lane over all these these same 3 decks we've talked about.
True, but like legitimately, I think Kobayashi having stock swap means that you're like the same kind of deck as 8-bar Azure Lane, but you're better because you have stock swap.
It does have stock swap. It's married to an event. You have to clutch off your one combo when you see it, but like I get it. The fact that you have it, yeah.
I think it's much better than 8-bar as like you can leap combos so much better.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Because
it's actually good.
That deck, I was a doubter in that deck until I was
also a doubter.
Watched it played it. That
level 1 combo just tries to grab bars, and then you can discard the bars and then bounce back to do combo again. Dragon Maid deck higher than Assault Lily.
It has dude, Azure Lane, dude, like
I think 8-bar Kobayashi's like probably the most slept on deck.
Assault Lily doesn't have a niche. It's just another blowout deck.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, Kobayashi's also the same way, to be fair, but
but it starts pushing you early the same way. Yeah, it does it better. Yeah, you're right.
The looping engine of 8-bar is just crazy.
Yep, the deck actually can slam level 1 combo a lot.
Yep, a lot.
But yeah, I mean, either do is fine. The 4s will stick eventually, and you just slam them for 4 and 4 and 4 and 4. It's cool. It's fine. I like it. I like it a lot more than I used to. Yep. Tier 4.
I feel like it's tier 4. Yeah, it's better now. I think it's better.
This deck has fallen so much. I remember I used to hate playing against this deck, but now like. If you're an 8 standby deck and you're not a defensive 8 standby deck, like you're not worth playing. Like that's just how I feel. You have to be a defensive 8 standby deck right now. The power doesn't matter. Because I think all these 8 standby decks feel like they're way too big to like push over like reasonably and have it matter. And then I think the card quality in Niji holds it back from making it matter if it could.
All right, just wait for SIF.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately though, it could very well. That deck, that set I could see it making legitimately all 3 decks like more relevant.
Well, yeah, Niji suck is kind of like
all 4. Superstar in there too, right?
Oh,
I feel like
Superstar in here.
No. I meant it has like the All-Star set has Superstar
4,
too, right?
It has all 4.
I feel like there should be a tier in between 3 and 4 that's like
these sucks. He's door level
Assault Lily, and below.
Yeah, I asked Jason if he wanted to put door level 1.
Yeah, we talked about the door. We were just like, none of us really see it. We know it exists, but we just don't see it enough to care. Like as bad as it is, we just don't care about it that much. It's probably a fine deck. I would probably realistically, if we were not lazy and we put it on, it would be in like low tier 3. I think that deck is better. I think that deck has a legitimate game plan. I is a good power level, and it's protectable. But
sorry, Niji does not Haruka Kanata still a reliable deck. Doesn't do anything spectacular versus any deck.
Isn't Haruka Kanata the Naruto song?
Haruka Kanata is the sisters, the 2-1 sisters.
Yeah, it's the Naruto song.
Is it a Naruto song?
Yeah, it's the banger Naruto song. Haruka Kanata.
Yeah.
I can't sing. That song
it's opening too.
One of the best ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure, I'm not playing it though. DMCA, I'm good. No copyrights. That doesn't narrow it down.
It's narrowed down because it's Naruto 1. It's the original Naruto. It is not Shippuden.
I do feel like there's a cutoff here.
I'll play 10 seconds of hard cut. I think that's like
that's the limit. Yeah, I think the limit's like 15 seconds.
But like I don't know, maybe tier 3 is just big. There's bound to be a lot of like viable decks. Yeah, it's that one.
This song slaps. Literally one of the best openings in Naruto.
That's 10 seconds you get.
Yeah. Like a Reco. Carmen, take it away.
Yo, tier 2, guys, tier 2.
I don't know anything about like bar choice D4 DJ, so I will say it's below that, but it's better than Assault Lily.
Okay, if we went raw on rep, it's technically a better deck than D4 DJ. It's probably better than the Master Lane too.
What against a bar?
Okay, it could be. It very likely is a popularity thing. That Like a Reco is just a popular deck, right?
Okay, well, looking at it in terms of what I'd play it over, right?
I mean, you play 8-door. I still think 8-door is the way you play this deck, like legitimately.
8-door.
Bro, and literally every time I look at Like a Reco and does literally nothing, and in the finisher, it always whiffs.
Why does it have to be 8-door over Panstor?
Because I think 8-door is the only thing that does anything like strong enough to like be of note.
What? Just because it stuns stuff against standby mana? I'm down.
No, the Brainstorm.
I actually think it's
like
why the mill floor?
Isn't the finisher? Isn't the finisher?
That shit's fucking random.
That card is the
single. I think you've gotten sniped by it enough times.
No, the thing is, I don't get sniped by it, but that card single-handedly is the most frustrating card. Okay, I think just put it next to just put it above D4 DJ. I think that it's just better than D4. I think it's better.
I think Assault is better.
No,
I think the finish. It's literally just
there's no shot.
But you have worse utility cards, and you have a worse top end.
Stock swap.
Shift stock swap. Wow. Assault Lily has stock swap. What the fuck do you mean?
Does it?
Yeah, on attack, pay 3 stock swap.
Yes, it does. It has real stock swap.
Shit. I'd rather have the fake stock swap.
It's more no. It's more real than the yellow stock swap. Like a Reco. That card is garbage. I don't even play it.
Yeah, Liquid Reco doesn't even play.
Complete garbage.
There's that stock swap and Liquid Reco is to shuffle back into your deck.
I don't think. I think you play Panstor. I don't think you play 8-door.
I love 8-door. I think 8-door.
I think you play against over.
Yeah, I think you've just gotten sniped by it. That's literally random. It doesn't mean anything.
I legitimately do rarely get punished by this card, but I see my local play this deck over and over and over, and he put it together only because I kept talking about it. I'm like, can you just try it? I think the Brainstorm is really funny. Like the Brainstorm enables you, right?
Like I played it. I've played 8-door locals. It is funny when your opponent mills.
You don't understand though, right? The Brainstorm lets the deck. The Brainstorm lets the deck. I mean, if you're scared of that, you can just get rid of the fucking card. It's not like you need a full board. Like it doesn't matter. Like the card does not have to stay on your board. But like in the mid game, especially against some of these decks, the mill is just like makes their deck really volatile. It's the same shit as Cinderella, dude. Like it's literally the same energy as Cinderella. It makes your deck like super volatile.
Okay, so this Brainstorm, it's a check 3 Brainstorm. Every time you trigger a door, I play. It's a check 3 Brainstorm. Self-res check 3 plusing Brainstorm. Every time you trigger a door, your opponent force mills 4. Which effectively does quote unquote nothing. It's random, but like in these decks in the mid game where like you're just trying to stick literally anything because everybody's so compressed you can't do shit. Like randomly coin flipping on door triggers for milling climaxes out is like probably good. Like I'm down. I'm down.
Decks just you can't deal damage against, right? And like
again,
you can just remove the card.
I'm down for that line of thought. The other thing I'm down with for door over.
Yeah, you can stun standby cards, which is like actually really obnoxious.
Actually stun standby cards, which is gross, and like you don't actually give anything up. Like Pants is already in the deck, like right now, like the way the deck actually shakes out playing the best cards is like I played Pants just because there's not a lot of standby in my local meta, and like I can check the top 2 and set up the blind stock, the on attack blind stock.
That is the strongest part about that card, which Japan doesn't even play that card. I don't.
Yeah, but like you literally don't even have to anymore. Like if stunning the stuff in the back row is better because people are playing for board, then you play that card anyway. And then if you're playing 8 door, of course you play into the check 3 brainstorm because that's a good fucking card.
Hololive always stand by
in that deck.
Assist in the back row though.
Well, no, they'll stand by Lunas to the back row after a point too, though.
Yeah, I mean, you will get value off of it eventually.
Like, there will be turns because that deck, both like a Reco decks, don't have good mid games, which is an issue.
Yeah, they have bad mid games.
They both just loop their combo. And in the end,
that's the worst part about the deck is that your mid game is ass.
Against some of these decks that are maybe like, there'll be times where you just take a turn, your opponent played a card to the back row to heal, right? They committed their card. Key does it quite a bit. Like they'll change into the Shiroha, and they might not even promote the Shiroha. They'll just play the Shiroha down at 3 just to be a healer because that deck lacks healers. Won't promote it right away, and then you can stun it there. There's just like random situations where you can just hit cards.
You'll get value off of it.
I think versus standby decks versus like things like Mushoku, things like Hololive, things like Ozkigura, you can legitimately hit cards that matter. Stunning Gura is like a big deal, like legitimately a big deal.
Anyway, between Pants and Door, I don't think it really matters. We're talking about like Door top 10 here.
I think it's worse than Assault.
I think it's better than Assault Lily.
Assault Lily is
I think you're
way better finisher.
You don't though. You literally don't. I promise you, I have played against Assault Lily so fucking much. His dex level 0 is actual dog shit.
Yeah,
bro,
level
1 is the low fact they had the Ricky +2 is just so much better.
Bro, that card doesn't matter, though.
No. It doesn't matter, Kevin.
Yes, Shenlin is a good card, but Shenlin
what does Liquid Reco have at 0?
Carry this deck.
What do you mean? Liquid Reco 0 is actually insanely good. What are you talking about?
So it has the Fuki, right? It has the 4K JC. It has the Fuki that can neg things power and is an admin for you. You can play that level 0. I know the levels you're talking to Karma doesn't like it, but if they stand on free plus.
No. I switched to that card. That card's gas. You just have to choose between the runner or the Chisato. You only play one.
You play either runner. You play either Chisato runner, which is the runner plus the Undeath salvage, Undeath salvage, Ricky.
Or you play the Takina,
which is a free salvage, or Takina.
Takina is a free top check ad, and it's a 500 power zone bomb. You have
4K JC good. Your stock swap is your comic stopper is also a draw drop.
You can literally chain neg power pop cards at 0 and get direct lanes for free.
My local has done that to me so many fucking times. It's the most aggravating thing when they drop double
you just pop everything. Like
they drop double Fuki, they shoot my cards.
You don't even need double because you also have the Fuka 0. You also have the Fuka 0 that gives neg 1,000 on play. Like you can literally legitimately just pop cards at 0 and get 3 direct lanes every single time.
And then you get to play. You also get to have the global soul. Not global soul, but like you get the soul support assist as well, which matters a lot, and it helps the Chisato restander and stuff actually do things, and it makes your mid game better because you can instead of swinging for 2s, you can actually swing for 3s.
I mean, Jason knows I've been a proponent of that soul assist shit from day one.
It is legitimately good. I don't care which top end you play. Like legitimately, I would play that deck over 8-bar Agilane. I'd play that deck. It's probably not better than than Kobayashi's because I think Kobayashi
it's right under Kobayashi. It's right under Kobayashi because it doesn't kill from as far as Kobayashi.
You can see it, Kevin, right?
Well, I
flavor of the month, whatever you want.
D4 DJ is higher than it still.
I mean,
I know nothing about D4 DJ, so I have to be the. So we're locked here at 1-1-1 on this.
I'm just gonna say,
I think better than 8-bar.
Okay. Do you legitimately think all the people playing Lyco Reco every week is still flavor of the month? Like legitimately, when shit like Uma and stuff has come out now, like it gets played a lot, right? You can't deny it. You see that
Lyco Reco is literally the biggest IP of last year.
Rightfully so.
But like,
it's a good series. I know that for sure.
Yes, but stuff like Uma Musume just came out. Chainsaw Man came out. Chainsaw Man's also very big as a series, right? The
other reason to play like a Reco, we haven't talked about it because we were in the argument about the level 1 things that was kind of a sidebar. The top end sculpt itself, and you have Majima against all these decks that build stock. Majima is like this X Factor card.
Do they play Majima? I think they do.
No, they still play Majima. Like
they played 1, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 1 or 2. Like Majima against all these decks that stack stock in any way allows you to always be at parity. And the way that you play under Majima is a play style, or not play style. It's a play pattern that puts you to 3 first to try to go for game. That's like a naturally synergistic thing against these decks that are trying to like stack stock to go off. The fact that you put that down, you're always at parity +1 if you play it right. So you're always 1 stock over your opponent every turn, looping your spammable early play heal, crashing it in, getting your stock back, going back up to your opponent's stock +1 every single turn. And the fact that you only need 2 cards in your hand to go off with full combo in addition to the climax, when you have, like, if you're playing 8 door, you have a check 3 brainstorm that you're playing in multiples, you have a stockless climax swap to make sure that you get into it. Like, I think the fact that the top end just comes, like, sculpts itself out of nowhere and is, like, fairly affordable considering the Majima in the meta that's in, like, I would play it, like, it's like the only reason I play like Kobayashi's in a meta like this is because Kobayashi's can 360 no scope, like, from farther than like a Rekko.
I mean, I'm okay with leaving it here. I just think this deck is better than Assault Lily, because I think the top end of this deck has, like Carmen said, it's basically just everything Assault Lily wishes it could do.
Yeah, like, it's just better. It's just better.
Because it's sometimes it is as expensive as Assault Lily, but it has actual ways to, like, generate a ton of stock throughout the game. And even during the finishing turn. You can legitimately make the stock up during the finishing turn too. Which I've seen it come up. I've seen it do it.
It does come up, yeah. With the Majima, you send the Takina.
But yeah, it also can confirm one of the burns too if you're on Pants, because you're playing the Kurumi Brainstorm. If you're on Door, you're not playing the Kurumi Brainstorm, obviously. But I just think this deck's good. I'm okay with leaving it here. I'm not really gonna fight the D4 DJ thing because I don't really care about D4
I don't know. DJ. I don't know anything about D4 DJ.
Because I don't see D4 DJ get played, like, almost, like, literally ever. I would put, like, a Rekko higher than it. You can call it flavor of the month, whatever.
D4 DJ doesn't see play over like a Rekko?
Like, absolutely
not. Oh, no, Kevin, move it up. Stop being stupid.
Like a
Rekko D4 DJ is literally non-existent.
I'm down to cut it with Kobayashi's because I do think Kobayashi just has more reach. As a deck that spins its wheels and goes for the kill, Kobayashi's has more reach, so I'm down to put it over like a Rekko. Yeah, I'd play like a Rekko over a lot of these lists just because I think at least the way the Like a Rekko top end works, if you are playing the Soul Assist, you have a lot of opportunities to flex player skill on people to go for kills. With
I do think that deck has, like, a lot of decisions that, like, reward you in some ways. But yeah, I mean, Like a Rekko is usually, like, a top 5 deck most times.
The zero in Like a Rekko is, like, you cannot deny that deck's zero is, like, actually nuts. Good. Yeah, that's exactly nuts. And if you don't think it's nuts, you literally just haven't played against it or with it.
That's the only thing I got triggered by.
When Kevin was like the level zeros, I was like, those zeros are insane. Those are like the nuttiest zeros I played in a while.
I didn't even care about that. I cared about him specifically saying Assault Lily had good zeros because I have been talking about Assault Lily with people for years, and that has always been, since that shit came out, that has always been my gripe, and that did not get fixed with set 2.
In set 1, Yu was a shit combo because the zeros were bad. In set 2, we still didn't get enough. We got like a couple good zeros, and they were all like crazy. I
got fucking on the ban list, bro.
And the drop search, the checks top, like that was a good card, dude. Like you got one, great job. And the run to back row, fucking ram bomb.
All right, we can move on now though. This deck, see, we can put this deck lower. I think this deck is medium as fuck.
This is fucking just in the trash.
This deck's a funny meme deck.
Yo, socks are
label. Kevin, label tier 4 as unordered. Just save us the trouble now. Just label it as unordered.
9.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
how does this work? Okay, sure, we'll have it there.
Yeah,
but
I don't like how it's not centered though.
Then just space it.
So that we can just throw shit into there because that's gonna come up.
Go to the T and just click space. There you go.
Yeah.
That's
gonna come up as we go further down. Just take care of it now.
It might be a little better than tier 4, but I'm not gonna fight it. It's like whatever. This deck's funny though. Superstar, bro. The only person I've ever known to play Standby Super or a Door Superstar was Christy.
Yep, it's just
that's
Christy.
The only time I've ever seen that. Although I like that deck, but I liked that deck back when like Superstar was relevant. Marvel's probably like high mid tier 3. Is it better than Lyco Recco? No, probably not.
No. Lyco Recco's top end's achievable most games. Like,
I don't know if it's better than D4 DJ. I think its top end is like fine. It has better zeros now. Iron Man Armor is a pretty broken card, to be honest.
Iron Man Armor is insane.
Good.
I would probably put it higher than D4 DJ.
Before though, where you can't really play too much of mid game because you don't have the stock for your.
Yes, your mid game is definitely bad. That is always a grievance. I have seen people playing Hulk. That has been a big thing that they have been picking up because it helps break some boards and stuff too.
The yellow Hulk.
Yes.
Shurigane. Okay.
I'm okay with leaving it there. I think it's fine. D4 DJ Marvel probably around the same power level. They both see about the same amount of play realistically. I think Marvel might even.
Someone give me like a TLDR on what D4 DJ does. Can you like? Can someone give me like?
You play a shared combo on a.
It's like just imagine Link Grisaya, but all your Link cards are actually good.
You have an actual top end with Link.
Okay.
Your finisher is like a pay to dish to.
I just wanted like some amount of reference.
It's a pseudo restand into a either a healer or a burner.
Either a finisher, a healer or a burner. So it itself is like a heal, and then it can change into a heal.
It has legitimate
-1 or burn with a.
Yes, it is a very competent deck. Its level zeros kind of suck because Bar Choice is basically a band lock deck for the most part. But its zeros are fine enough that it gets through. Its 1 is fine.
You do have a mid game.
Mid game is fine.
You play a 2-1 combo as well.
Yes, yeah. You have a mid game with a 2-1 combo. It's fine. Not anything I would count as amazing. It's probably holding it back, but its top end is good. That is its.
And its Link swapping thing, like the CX swapping, is so much better than.
Yes, it is definitely better as like a way to win the game than Grisaya. I fucking wish
Grisaya, you had to fucking put out fucking stinky vanilla to memory. 2 stinky vanillas to memory. D4 DJ to swap your CXs. You just have your brainstorm, be on board.
Mushoku Tensei. So this is minimum better than Quince. Than every variant of Quince. Yep. I don't think it's tier 1. I think it's probably below.
I think it's better than Chainsaw.
You think it's better than Chainsaw Man? I mean, I do like this deck a lot. I've always liked this deck.
Deck's comfy, yeah. I remember saying this deck was comfy so early. I was like, I think A Standby Mushoku is really good, and I remember Ryan being like, "This deck sucks."
Oh god, I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
like Ryan was sitting there tuning into you, and you being like, "Wow, this is fucking stinky." Like, yeah,
that was in New Jersey. I was like, yeah. Well, I remember when Mushoku first came out, everybody's like playing the pants stuff, and I was like, I think the Standby stuff.
Kevin sat there and was like, before that event, he's like, sleeve 8 standby, play the pendant, deck stick with the pendant. And then I played it, and then that's when I was bullying you with it. I'm like, damn, Kevin was
that's when I was like, I came home and I was like, guys, this deck is nuts. Like, because I never played it with the blue stuff in the beginning. It was like green.
Yeah,
it was like all red-green.
And when I played the event, it feels so much better.
Oh no, I played yellow early with Mushoku, so I was
we played Choice.
I cut all that shit. I cut all that shit, and then for 8 standby, like I was playing like the Rudy early play.
Yeah, I remember.
Like then, and in standby, and I was like, okay, no, get rid of that. And like, yeah, the event.
I do actually kind of like. I do kind of like. I don't love it, but I like the stock bomb made Asuna. It's a pretty cool card.
Oh, the Rudy level 0 from the trial deck. Yeah,
that card is pretty cool. It feels pretty cool when you use it with stuff like Rui Zherd.
Yeah,
you can pick up your brainstorm. With that. I have made it so I just picked up my brainstorm a lot. It feels really good when you don't have
just so that you get
these shitty level 0 turns, but you can like make them better.
The fact that being able to continue to attack even at the cost of your hand in the current meta makes all the difference when things are so much faster.
Alright, you guys keep talking about Mushoku. I'm gonna take a piss real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
I also have to go to the bathroom, so we can just take a quick break.
Alright, goodbye. Whatever, losers. So yeah, chat. That was a nice little chat about Lyco Recco, I think. That was a long one. I didn't expect it to be like that, but Kevin's ignorant. So It is what it is. I also don't. I still think Lycoreko is one of the worst sets of this year. By the way, I still kind of stand by that opinion as well. But talk MTI. I mean, like, I don't know how much there is to really say about Mushoku, right? It's like, deck's good. It's the same deck it was unbanned. It just proves, I think, how big the ban actually was. Event play is wrong. No, that was not the worst deck on the list. Tier 4 is unordered. It's just somewhere in that glob of mess. I don't know if Event is wrong right now. I don't have enough reps with both variants to say. Event still feels good. I know Kevin likes the Event. I have it sleeved without the Event right now. I need to play with it more. I do think I need to fix the level 1 because I'm on the Camp Reverse by Costless Ghislaine. I don't like that card right now because
I don't like it either. I took it out.
Ozkigoro reams that deck. That card just dies. Like, it's whatever. It's good against Chainsaw Man if they play Kishibe, which is cool. But I think that I need to fix level 1 a little bit without the Event. With the Event, I think your level 1 is brainless. But yeah, I mean, like, deck's just good, right? It puts up its board.
What is this? Mushoku
only still? Deck. The only Patrick wanted to talk about it a little bit. The only deck you can't beat on offense easily is Hololive if they go first. And I think Hololive is more willing to play a slow level 0 than you are. And so they can usually get their 1 first. But that is its own issue. And I also just think that deck hoses you like in the mid.
This one? That one?
Yo, wait, they're playing the Spawner with Rem Bomb. I love that card. That card slaps. I remember playing that card back in the day. That card has a ton of different arts.
Are they on the... They're not on the event, right, Kevin? They're mostly off the event.
Yeah, it's 1 week there's a bunch on an event, but this week there's not much an event. Or there's not an event.
Yeah, I mean...
Kevin is very brave. I would never raw Twitter browser.
Oh, he's not raw browsing Twitter. He's opening the... He directly opened the
link.
The links.
Oh, okay.
Please, Kevin can't raw fucking look at Twitter. Are you kidding me?
Well, 8 standby Overlord.
This deck sucks. Put this at the bottom of tier 3. This deck fucking blows.
I'll let you know my opinion on it Saturday after I play it tomorrow on locals.
Okay, so I will tell you about this deck, right? This deck is probably one of the decks in the last... I will check your list, Patrick. But this is probably one of the lists in the last year and a half that I've played that I really liked. And I think part of this deck is why I like playing 8 Standby Hololive so much. Like, legitimately. Because I think 8 Standby Hololive is just doing what that deck does, but better.
Yep.
As it stands. Ainz being 9k felt insane. The Albedo stuff felt insane. But the problem with 8 Standby, and Kevin can attest to this, even though I know he hasn't played the deck a lot in a while, the deck can't trigger standbys at all. It has no capacity.
It doesn't push for triggers at all.
To trigger standbys in a deck that needs to hit standbys. If this deck at level 1 does not see... It either take multiple turns at level 1 and put out multiple 2/2s, or it needs to, before it hits level 2, have a second of the 2/2 Albedo on the board.
Yep.
Because if it does not summon 2 Albedos, the deck feels really bad. If it summons 2 Albedos, you feel insane. Because you're sitting on double anti-burn, and you have picked up the next soul event, which you're probably using it 2.
Burn twice.
Yeah, you feel insane. The problem is that deck is very, very poor at getting there.
And I also think
very poor.
I also think in the mashups too. So just
if you play against
other 8 standby decks, it's horrid. But if you randomly run into a lineup of 1k1 decks that can't answer Albedo, you are on top of the moon.
Right. Okay, realistically, it's probably not bottom of tier 4. It's probably
not bottom tier 4. I put it at tier 3.
Tier 3. Sorry, I'm in tier 3. It's probably better. It's probably like better or like slightly worse than D side, around there.
It's probably worse
realistically.
Than
Maybe because Mushoku and 8 Standby.
I'd rather play 8 door Bang Chain than that deck.
I think if Hololive got hit, Mushoku doesn't have to get. I think if just Hololive got hit, Overlord has a lot more merit. Because Albedo is not very big. It's also a big issue, and you need to be able to win with Albedo on offense, and you can't do that for Hololive. Hololive will always be bigger than you. Ozkigura is going to ignore you, and they're going to run you over with the stupid 2/1 Anyas. Chainsaw Man's going to run you over on offense. Like, these decks will just kill you. We'll just beat over your card, and it feels bad. That is a problem. Patrick, send me your list. Okay, I will sleeve this list, Patrick. I will try this. As much as like I said, I don't like that
Mushoku list.
But yeah.
Oh, wait,
as much as I don't
it.
like that Galena, I'll respect it.
I got nothing to do. So send me that. I got nothing to do with locals. I don't even play modern format locals anymore. I only play 2024.
That's a link to a PayPal. Ignore that. That was the guy that I bought my Oz key off of.
Thank you, Patrick. I got it.
Yeah, no twin drivers, whatever. Unfortunate. Deck's still really fun though. I still really do enjoy that deck.
I sent an email.
It was the guy I bought the Oski SP off of on accident. Oops.
Well, I can tell you
3 Neo drop searches, by the way.
The deck that I did play literally yesterday was Door Bar.
So yeah, post game is deck's cope, right?
I went.
Wait, does this deck have to play the event to play the game?
No. It's just...
Wait, it can still play. Wait, what was the ban list for Ainz again?
1-1.
You lost. You basically can't play tap counter. You can't play Bride Package anymore.
Yeah, you have to play the 1-1.
Well, yeah, you have to play the 1-1 for the deck work. So you don't have the Bride. You don't have that. So you literally
lose your ability to accelerate.
All right, so you're telling me that this deck is Kana to Marine, but I have to roll even harder for it to work?
No, it's not Kana to Marine. 8-bar pad is Kana to Marine.
Okay, all right.
So my experience with this deck yesterday when I was playing it is I hit level 2, I do my whole combo, I end my turn with 2 cards in hand, 1 or 2 cards in hand. Then I gotta pray. I either have I already preemptively had another bar in hand, or I have cards that can dig for a bar.
Which is a lot harder when you don't have the Bride.
You just don't have the raw hand advantage of Bride.
Yes. You can't just clock yourself.
Yeah, I would, unless I have like 4 turns at level 2 with Ainz, I cannot do more than like 3 bird ones with the event.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, you don't have this raw hand advantage out of nowhere all the time. Like at every level, you basically just assert a draw 3 at every single level. At any one time that you want it, and any like amount, any quantity you want it. Very unfortunate.
You basically every turn I clock mash 1 brainstorm and hope that gets probably stuff I need. I think it's worse than D side. I do not think it's worse than A standby. Oh, I can't say for sure because I haven't played A standby.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, it's pending TBD. Could be, could not be.
Oh no! If you get through the rough stages, the deck is still insane.
I believe that. I can very much believe that. The problem is getting through the rough stages and having the hand to like early play comfily. And I think that's like a big issue, right?
Well, the other problem is like trying to resolve door combo.
Yeah, true.
If I just don't see door level 1, it's fucked.
All right, gamer deck now. 8-bar pad, tier 1, baby. This deck is pretty fucking insane.
Tier 1?
Yeah, I think this deck's nuts. Like actually,
I think it's top.
I think this deck. Okay, so I think legitimately this deck is better than
Choice
than Choice Pants. By like
so what does 8-bar pad do? Because I don't know anything about pad.
So you
Red told me.
You're Oski. You're Kana to Marine, right? Except you're like
Yeah,
actually,
I think
you're closer to Toph.
Yeah, no, it's like not. I told you. It's like, I told you in the other chapter.
You're actually better than Kana. You are an infinitely better card than Kana.
Imagine if 8-bar Avatar was good.
So it is. So what Alexander does, right? Alexander is he spawns off your brainstorm. He is pay 1. The brainstorm is pay 1, drop 1, sack itself. Play Alexander from your hand. Alexander does not do anything on play. Alexander is a 10k or 10-5, I don't remember exactly, on a bar. At the end of his attack, choose 1. Pay 1, drop 1, restand, or pick 3 cards from your waiting room, put 2 to hand, 1 to stock. Right. So he is compression neutral to summon completely. He picks up the brainstorm back to your hand. He picks up the card. He picks up the card, like basically himself worth of card from hand, or the stock, whatever, and he puts the stock back. So he's completely neutral in terms of like the what he's putting out. He gets 1k power till the end of your opponent's turn. So he's 11. He's like 11-5. You have really good back row for him. You get a 2k assist that says whenever you trigger a climax, you get to describe the top 2 cards of your deck, rearrange, which is really sick, and it gives us Soul Somewhere. Besides him, you're playing a level 0 combo. Your level 0 combo is just on play of the bar, Maguro 4, add a character.
It's also a bar assist.
Yeah, it is your bar support. It is the Sakura Brainstorm bar support, to be specific.
And you have insane level 1s.
Yes, your level 1s are fucking bonkers. You have a on play. When your versus gains honor versus your opponent's character, pay 1, salvage a green or god, which is the whole deck. Effectively, I think there's like a 2 or 3 cards that aren't grabbable, and it's a 6/5 on offense. You have another card that's whenever you play a bar, it's a pseudo level 1 combo. It's on attack, reveal top. If it's a level 1 or higher, level 1 or higher, gains free twin drive. You just twin drives the 2 cards out.
You get stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you stock charge, you push the damage. You're slamming this bar. That's also one of your back row cards, which I still stand by. When your level 0 combo is a legitimate back row card, it is one of the most broken feeling level 0 combos you can be playing. You have great level 1s.
You have stock swap. You have a card that lets your finisher attacks back row.
You have a solid early play healer. Oh my god, that card is so fucking sick. There's a 2/1. It's a 2/1 Adachi that when you can bottom itself to give one of your characters attack the back row. So you can make your Alexander restand and double punch their back rows. Yeah.
That's so gross.
All right, I'm down.
I trust.
This deck is so much fun to play, and Alexander resolving and sitting there for a full turn cycle feels insane.
The only downside is if he can't be answerable.
Yes. If he dies, it's unfortunate. Granted, this deck is really good at setting up because this deck doesn't lose its brainstorm. It gets to brainstorm before it switches, which is a big deal. Like legitimately.
Yeah.
Because that means you can I have extra stock because you're stock charging all this through the whole level 1 game, right? You're just slamming cards, you're playing this 1/0 out as many times as possible, trying to make as much stock as you can. And then you just go, sure, double brainstorm, triple Alexander. This deck triple Alexanders all the time. I almost never don't triple Alexander. It's so easy. Very, very strong deck, I think. It's the only problem with the deck is that its top end is a restander. But you do get to play a cool red card with it that gives it cancel burn too.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
It's good. It's really, really good. It's really fun to play too. I think this is way more fun to play than Pants Choice.
Speaking of Pants Choice,
it feels like you're working to something.
Right under
without that, you still gotta call it tier 1.
Yeah, it's still tier 1, 100%.
It's still probably better than 8-bar.
Meta-wise, it's definitely
vanilla,
probably higher. Personally,
you'll have more enjoyment playing 8-bar, but realistically,
you also probably have better games.
I mean, is Pants Choice above 8 Standby Hololive?
No.
Possibly.
No. You don't think so?
No.
I think they're close. They're just two sides of the spectrum.
Yeah,
one is a hard defense deck,
it's like the ultimate defense versus the ultimate offense.
Because the thing is, right, Ney can't side Lunas.
Yeah, the fact that Ney can't side the Luna and is susceptible to the tap counter is pretty big, actually.
That's the biggest issue, right?
That's massive, because one Ney is so much damage. Removing one Ney is the difference between winning and losing.
And especially because that deck does not always triple Ney.
Yes,
I think double Ney is the more common line that you'll see because sometimes it can be really swingy to get to the triple Ney. And if Hololive just raw plays to summon 3 Lunas, it's really hard for Pad to play because they always basically have to triple Ney to double Ney.
Baby,
really frustrating.
Power.
Also, because they don't even have to tap counter you, they can anti-burn you, and that's just as effective versus Ney. They can just play the 2/1 anti-burn event if they want to, target that one Ney, and say that card can't, or the card in front of this can't burn. Thumbs up. Have fun, idiot. But yeah, very good deck.
It's two different sides.
Pants Choice is this deck drools on itself, kind of like Ozkigura. It just tries to build enough stock to triple combo for 7. It tries to remove as many non-soul triggers as it can of its deck. It makes its choices into soul triggers, and then it goes mill 7. If you hit 3 soul triggers, burn 4. 4 soul triggers.
It's always burning 4, shuffle 3, burn 4.
Yeah, and then if you hit 6 soul triggers, burn 4 again. It is usually always going to go at least burn 4, shuffle 3, and then burn 4 again.
If they triple
often enough,
it's almost guaranteed that you hit 2 of them hits the nuts.
Yeah, it's very likely.
And then there's a good chance that all 3 hits nuts. because I've seen that.
Yeah, and they don't have to. The thing of that deck is it does not have to stick a lot of damage because it is such a large number. Yeah, there's a 2/1. It
gives the choice at Soul Trigger.
Yeah, it's a 2/1 back row that says while it's on the board, your cards with choice have Soul Triggers.
The only thing I wish it had was that it had like a 2/1 utility card that can.
I wish I had a better level 0 game. Its level 0 game is fucking miserable. If you can beat this deck by bombing its drop search, huge against this deck. Also, if you punch its back rows, if you take its brainstorm out of the game while it's on the board early, it's really big. Not many decks can do that, obviously, but that's like a thing. If you just remove it. Yeah, Nay is very good against most anti-damage cards because she can just side because she's usually swinging for 4s. So she'll be siding you a level 3 for 1 like 99% of the time. So she just dodges most anti-damage cards. And then gets to just still burn a bunch.
Pretty good.
I'm pretty sure Nate's
is very volatile.
Good into it.
I will say, yeah, Jason's right. It's very volatile.
I think a standby Hololive would be like its only bad matchup.
It's the only deck. It's the only deck that is like legitimately, I think, like somewhat favored.
Yeah, it has a tool to like do something.
Because Pad will never contest this deck. Hololive can legitimately do whatever it wants, like the entire game, and they're not stopping you. Like they do not have the capacity to stop you. And so Hololive gets to play the whole game. They basically will always get to triple Luna if they want it. Because the whole gimmick of Pad is similar to Ozkigura, where it just wants to sit you down at 2, like low mid 2, and gun you down. But you can't do that against Hololive, because Hololive will still put the Lunas on the board at 2, and you're in the same problem spot.
The difference is one has a level 1 combo and pushes damage at level 1, while the other has better utility cards, I think.
Yeah, but the thing, Hololive will push damage against them because they're going to open their lanes against Hololive, right? They can't win the lanes.
I mean, Ozkigura, specifically.
Oh, Ozkigura, yeah. In comparison, Ozkigura will try to
Ozkigura is like the most comparable deck to Pad.
Although Pad is a lot worse when it accidentally levels up its opponent. Because it will do that a lot more.
Pad doesn't have the ability to as easily just be like, okay, I'm hit level 3 now.
Yeah, it can't cut itself to 3 the same way. Like I see them play cards that do it though. They'll like play towards doing it.
But it's not gonna be like Hololive where you could just
where they're just gonna go where they like Hololive sometimes playing the clock on cords to up themselves.
There's quite a bit of Hololive Ozkigura decks that are playing like the Miko 1-0s and
or they're playing multiple monsters, yeah.
Monster 2/1s that has clock on course, which I think we should be played in English too. Because if you're gonna expect,
it might be, yeah.
If you're gonna expect a lot of Ozkigura, you're gonna want a card that can.
I don't think you're gonna. Oh yeah,
you're gonna if you're gonna play against a bunch of mirror matches,
you have to be the Ozkigura that goes to 3 first.
Yeah, you need the go button.
Yeah, same coin. That's also why I think H-Stand by Hololive is good into Ozkigura. Same energy, same legit reasoning. It's just
a lot to play the game. English will you'll never see A-Stand. It'll be hard to see English.
You will not see a standby until Overlord goes away. Minimum. Overlord and at least either Overlord or Alice, one of the two have to leave the format for H-Standby to thrive. But not English though. Doesn't matter. That deck's already dead. Ilya, go for it. Carmen, you play this deck.
It's fucking tier 4. It's probably okay. The only thing that might put it at the bottom of tier 3 is the fact that this deck naturally plays 30 Soul Triggers. I'm like, that's literally it. But it's probably just tier 4. Just toss it in tier 4 and be done with it.
Swap or anything, right?
No.
Level 0 is just nothing until you hit level 1. You have Azuzas. Miyu is like East Key, but just as bad. Fail case. If you whiff, you fucked. No good mid game.
It used to be good. It's gone. If only you could early play the Kuro Bomb, then it'd be a fine mid game.
I put it up here.
Really?
8 bar. I think 8 bar PGS is insane. It's the best memory compression deck right now. Memory compression heal loop deck. It has one of those EP heal to memory. And you basically just play the same 8 bars always, you just level 0 combo, pretty broken. And you can also play level 1 combo as well. That's why people are playing the level 0 and the level 1 combo for 8 bar. So you always plus every single turn while being able to start EP healing memory. And then I think
I'm alive.
CX-less Mocha is actually fucking insane. Cause
yeah, like, I legitimately know nothing about 8 bar PJS. I played against bar choice. I played against 8 standby.
Realistically, it's bar X. I think like
I think
still pretty good. I think Choice is good now.
I watched
actually.
8 bar and it was just doing shit, dude. It was going off.
You think 8 bar was? Yeah, I mean 8 bar's good. 8 bar's good. I mean, I don't think bar choice is much different, to be honest. It's like
they're quite
you need
different.
to break boards.
Because 8 bar plays towards memory.
Yeah, because you have the EP healer.
And you play all the zeros. You play a bunch more zeros that goes into their boat's memory. And you play the level 1 combo.
Bar. Yeah, I like the bar choice personally. I mean, I don't like Mashu very much, but
I mean, you play just because you.
Although the Mashu also combos on the Xenon, right? Wait, Mashu comboed on the Xenon? Same thing?
No.
No? Oh, it's a different bar? Okay. I didn't remember if they played the Xenon.
Your top end still. Your top end. Your level 3s are the
CX of Mocha, the Ichika Burn 3 spawner.
Huh?
And right, it's the blue card, right? They play that.
You play the clock kick, you play the Mocha, you play the EP healer, and you play the EP check 2 ditch 2 stack 1 that has the hexproof and anti backup.
And that card.
It's like
okay, so they don't play the spawner anymore. Unfortunately, I like the spawner card. I mean, yeah, I mean deck's good. It's a level 0 combo, push damage.
You play bar every turn. You compress with memory. Yeah, as I said, I think CX-less Mocha is broken. Because you just
I don't think it's broken. It's really expensive.
I mean it's not broken, but it's like really good.
It's good, yeah, for sure.
Oh, it's just pay on this one.
Isn't it P2 ditch one?
No, it's just pay on this one.
Was it really? I thought it was more. Not sure.
Let me look it up real quick then.
I swore it was Pay 2 ditch one, but maybe you're right.
Let me double confirm, so I'm not chatting.
Yeah, I mean, I love projects. I love Project Sekai. So
have you played with the new the 8 bar? The new support?
No, I don't own the bar. I only played with bar choice and standby.
Oh, you never had the PRs? Yeah, my friend bought
the PRs CDs. Are really expensive.
My friend bought the CDs because the CDs are cheaper than buying a PR.
Yeah, like legitimately though. I considered it. But I also just don't own the
Tanner also did combo. That. He bought the CDs instead of buying the PR.
Oh right, I was gonna look at Little Akiba, and Little Akiba doesn't have Project Sekai because it's a
He got it like Ami like pre-ordered on release.
It's a TD card. It's a more jump TD card.
That's a clock kick.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's just pay 1 ditch 1. Mocha.
Pay 1 drop 1? Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Alright. 8 standby.
What is the high level 2 with Clock on Core? It is the 2-1 Matsuri from the premium booster.
Yeah.
It is just a Clock on Core, and it's like 12k on attack or something like that. It's like whatever. You just play with it. You play it because it's the Clock on Core card that can like answer lane sometimes.
You use the Clock on Core to make sure that you can 360 no scope first.
8 standby.
So where did you put 8 bar? I think 8 standby is really good still, by the way. I think it's like up there with 8 bar, like legitimately. I think it's not necessarily right there. It's probably a little bit worse, maybe. I don't think 8 bar is that good either though, but I have a hard time believing 8 bar is as good as like Chainsaw Man or like close to Mushoku, but
I don't know anything about like 8 bar Project Sekai.
Well, 8 standby and 8 bar, as far as I've seen, are played like equivalently as much.
I'm down to put 8 standby like right under Kanata. I think that's fine, yeah.
8 standby.
I think it's better than HK.
I think until I played Hololive, I would have probably told everybody that 8 standby Project Sekai is probably my favorite deck in Weiss right now. Deck is very comfy. It's like the only deck I've ever played where I felt like I legitimately did not need a brainstorm ever to function. It has a constantly looping pay 1+.
I don't like 8 bar PGS better than Chainsaw Man, sure.
Yeah, like legit. I think you could probably put those 2 decks together. I think they're like right next to each other in terms of strength. Either both of them are better than Hololive, or I think they're both worse than Kanata. But I don't think their strength is different from each other like at all. But yeah, so the whole gimmick of Project Sekai is what?
I feel like
I think there's a legitimate power gap there. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, there's a power gap here.
You could even honestly, if you really wanted to make a tier 1.5, you probably could and just put that chunk there. I think it's a legitimate enough power gap between them that I wouldn't like. I don't like making 1.5s, but I do think
there's a power gap between.
So the whole gimmick of Project Sekai though, is that you are a standby deck that does not play brainstorms or anything. You play a 1-0 package with it is a level 1 combo. It is a 1-0 that has on play ditch 1 bond to the 1-0 combo, and the 1-0 combo also has on play ditch 1 bond to that card. And the first card says if this card is on the field, beginning of the climax phase, if the 1-0 was played this turn, the combo, you can pay 1, bounce it to your hand, salvage any character.
That tier 1.5, you should just make an S tier.
No, I don't think they're like a tier. I don't think those 3 decks are tier 0. I think they're like good, but they're not significantly better than the stuff below them either. It's just the gap between 1.5 and 2 is big enough.
It's a noticeable enough gap.
But yeah, so the whole gimmick of that deck is that you just play very similar to 8 Standby Hololive actually, where its level 0 is there to just be filler to make the deck run well. It plays a mill 3 drop salvage. It plays a Chiari that's like, or a Fuka. That's probably one of the best Fukas I've ever played with in my entire life because it has on death scry to top bottom.
So basically that card. Yeah. TD card, by the way.
It just plays a vanilla CX swap because it has to, unfortunately, because it doesn't have much better than that. I forget what else the fucking deck played at 0.
I mean, the deck really turns on at 1 when you have
at 1 you start. Your combo is just on reverse, check 4, add 1 on a standby with that card. So you legitimately don't need a lot of reverses. So it's hard for decks to deny you at 1 getting your reverse. And you really that deck needs 1 reverse like maximum a lot of the time. 2 is like, maybe if you had like a rough level 0, maybe you need a second combo, but it's still usually doable versus most things. Because you have decent ways to pump at least 1 lane. Which is fine. And then basically your level 2 game ends up becoming this 10-5 hand on core standby combo that's on attack, pay 1, drop 1, burn 3, heal 1. It doesn't heal, it's just a 10-5 hand on core. And you loop a check X EP with and money counter. And you have a 2-1 back row that basically just kind of yeets cards to stock. So you loop this level 1 combo and this 1-0. You just play the level 1 combo, send it to stock, play your 1-0 down. Pay 1, bounce it to hand, so you open the lane for your standby cards, whatever. And you just loop this, you just do this cycle over and over and over of playing the check X, find standby, find money counter, attack. And it's like a 10-5, it's a 10-5 or 11k hand on core. Card's like insane. And it's just a very consistent deck at doing this over and over every single game, where it'll just start heal looping it. It is probably the best heal loop deck in the game right now. Because it does it better than Kanata Marine, because it doesn't have to like spend stock to do so over and over. It spends 2 stock every turn, but it can generate more. It'll generate that stock back by just stacking off the check X EP a lot of the time that it played. So it becomes like a 1 stock early play. Really good deck at cycling itself. It's really fun to play, and I think it's a cool deck to experience because it's so different.
Okay.
Can I just put it in tier 3, dude?
Oh,
tier 3?
You
gotta drop it.
Tier 4.
No.
You're not gonna drop it.
Not tier 4.
You're not gonna drop it. Can you cope hard enough?
I think it's better than Nino. It's better than Nino.
Okay.
It has better cards.
Yeah, I would rather play Bar Choice Preconnect over.
It has power.
No,
I would power.
I think 8-door
I'm okay with this.
Better.
No, I'm okay with this.
8-door's better.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
I think 8-door's better.
I think Bar Choice Preconnect has a better mid game than Arifreda. It has not as much power pump, but I think it has a more consistently save level 1 game. And
it just has 2 early plays. That's all it has.
Yeah, but what did Arifreda have for early plays, Carbon?
Just the one that burns. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Move it up. You're right. Yeah. Just move it up. Whatever.
Like it has early plays.
Kokoro is still fine.
Pekko kill people, though.
Fine deck. No, Pekko. I wish Pekko killed people. She sounds so good on paper.
I'm a uni prefer personally.
I'm a check 3 clean cards, or check.
Yeah, me too.
Check 2 cards on 2 clean cards and 1 climax on my opponent's uni, and then they cancel.
And they cancel anyway.
Yeah, that's what happens to me. All right, dude, the deck, dude. The fucking what is this? What did they say?
Is this the deck?
This is Chinese Pixar?
No, this is not the Chinese Pixar one.
What do you mean it's not?
This is not Toy Store choice.
This is the.
This deck has murderous intent.
This is Toy Store, not Door Choice.
This deck's good.
I never played Pixar. Good. I never played Pixar.
High tier 3 easily. This deck's good. Lightning McQueen is a good card. Not high tier 3.
Wait, what's the choice level 1 combo?
Woody. It's the Mogul with the Soul Trigger.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, this deck's probably fine.
I think it's probably around Lyco Recco. Yeah, this is fine.
You think he's better than Lyco Recco?
Yeah.
No.
I do. Yes, I do.
Do you think he's better than Kobayashi?
Maybe.
Do you think
I don't think Lightning McQueen is a better
Lightning McQueen. Oh wait, Lightning McQueen's insane. Wait. Hang on. Lightning McQueen, legitimately fucked up card.
Okay, what does this do? What is
it? Is 3 stock to burn 3 top deck your opponent's character.
Okay, wait. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Or burn 3 top deck
waiting go. Like, I'm down to Ka-Chow. I'm Kerchewing.
Put it above HPR. I think this shit's better than HPR too. This deck's like Lightning McQueen is legitimately terrifying because if your opponent has 3 stock, they just drop triple Lightning McQueen.
Wait,
you're just like, oh.
So there was a. If you don't know the Chinese Pixar memes, there's this person who there's in the Chinese Weiss scene. There is a person who plays Pixar, and he has like gaslit everyone in their country into thinking that like this 5-door 3-choice Pixar list is like disgustingly cracked, and they wrote an article about it, like a note basically, and it's like translated through Google Translate. It said the Pixar deck has murderous intent, and that was just like how we've been referring to it. It's very funny, but this is a different deck. Choice Store is a different deck.
Yeah, it plays more conservative.
Yeah, it's you can play some cool shit like my local plays. He plays 8-door. He really likes Lightning McQueen level 1, which I think is understandable. But you get really cool cards like the Remy from Ratatouille, the 2/1. That card's really cool. The 1/0 Ratatouille cards are actually both really good.
1.4.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
The Chinese Weiss community is probably like...
There's probably like 50 people in China that play Weiss, let's be honest.
Wait, the last tournament already had over 104 people for this one city.
Yeah, no, they play Weiss, Carmen, but...
300 people.
I would give them at least 500.
Well, what is it? I mean, Rex has played Weiss in
400, take it or leave it.
400?
It's probably more. I would assume it's more Hong Kong than other places.
I'll take 400. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know anything about their scene other than what Hansen tells me. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, I just think the deck's good. I think Lightning McQueen's a really good card. I think it suffers in its level 0 and it's level 3.
What do you mean? They have Dory and the blue people that plays crap.
Dory's fucking blows, dude.
No, dude, you play him with the blue people, dude. You've never seen that play?
No, that card's good.
Here's a Chinese.
You play the Dory, you attack, and you play the blue people. You attack, you sack the Dory with the blue people. You go like +3. It's sick.
Here's a Chinese meta.
It's just pad. Yeah, we know.
Pad, baby.
24 pad.
Literally 25% of the meta.
First place is pad. Second place is pad.
Oh no, closer to 20%. It's like 1/5.
Fourth place is slime.
Okay, I don't know what it's called. What is that show called? I just call them the blue people. What the Pixar movie? What is that called? Disenchanted? Is that what it is?
No.
What is that? The blue people. They're blue people. I just call them the blue people.
I know.
The card. The card is pay 1, run to back row, sack, self check for.
Our family. Our family. I think. Oh my god. I knew it, and you kept saying blue people.
I'm just gonna say blue people Pixar.
Avatar.
No, it's
called Onward.
Onward family. Yeah. It's the Onward family.
Look,
you kept saying blue people.
Look, I googled Jason.
Blue people.
I legitimately googled blue people Pixar and got Onward.
Yes,
so
I believe it. But oh my god, I had it in my brain. I was gonna say it to you, and you ruined it. Oh my god, the Onward family is good.
What do we got here? What's next?
Sal.
No, bar choice.
This deck's like not playable anymore, right?
Post-ban Sal.
There's like no shot this deck is actually playable.
This is like Yuki into what? No, this is Yuki into Alice into Kirisuna, right?
Yeah.
That is the idea.
Yeah.
That's probably like
mid as fuck.
That's probably
you lost your Leafa.
Oh, they can't play Leafa, right?
No, you can't.
No,
you choose between Leafa or you choose between Leafa, Heathcliff.
No, this isn't the next soul deck. This is for
you choose Leafa, Heathcliff, or
this is probably somewhere in
Swordlina.
tier 3.
But you lose Swordlina though.
Yeah,
so this is probably somewhere in tier 3. This is somewhere in tier 3.
You can't EP Alice anymore anyway though, right? So it doesn't really matter. It's probably somewhere in tier 3. I'd probably put it like. Probably just put next to Overlord. I don't know. For sake of posterity's sake. Band cards stick together. Ook. Alright. Another band deck.
Cope gear.
It's tier 4, right?
Yeah.
Or do you want to say it's tier 3? We can put it next to Banger.
No, fuck no. I love this.
Would you play Simple Gear? Do you think Simple Gear is better than Princess Connect?
No.
This deck, if this deck got the Chris to come off the ban list, this deck would be playable. Yes. No, give me the Chris back. No. All I want is the Chris. Give me the Chris.
Coper Kevin, where do you think Psychono goes?
Tier 4, where it belongs.
No. Okay.
No.
I'm glad to know where your heart puts it, but where does your brain put it?
Where does my brain put it?
It's tier 4.
In
this
a
deck
meta
sucks.
where you legitimately cannot get Kato Bar to get over
you legitimately can't play this deck, Kevin. If you don't put this in tier 4, I'm leaving the call. I'm literally leaving the call.
Kevin's like gonna cry. He's like,
you know we're right. You know Jason and I are right.
I haven't said a word. I'm just saying. I'm asking Kevin. I know he maxed his deck, bro.
You said it without saying it. You said it without saying it.
I need a runner. They need a runner back. Please give me the runner back.
I don't even think the runner saves it, dude. Let's be real.
Give me the runner back.
Alright, 8 door TRV. This is 8.
Look at tier 3, right? It's like somewhere in there.
You put out the Pochins, and Pochin's a dumb card.
Pretty much.
It's probably like, I don't know, I'd play this over 8 bar Azure Lane.
That high, eh?
Would I play it over like Oreko? I might. Would I play it over Kobayashi? No. Yeah, that's probably right. I don't know, Jason. What do you think?
I mean, he's kind of do nothing. He's just saying.
Kobayashi's my cutoff because, like,
I never see people play this deck anymore, dude.
But if there's a one deck that can outwall Hololive, it's just the deck.
I don't. The only problem I have with this deck is this deck does literally nothing to kill anyone and just relies on bleeding your opponent out of shit.
Yeah, like, outwall them and then money counter them.
Works sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. I would probably
the only problem in this deck will actually fold to pad.
I would probably put it below Marvel. I just don't think it's good enough.
I'm down with that. I was just thinking
it's cool.
Well, would you
it's
play
still
it
a
over
cool deck.
Lekko?
Yes, I would play Lekko over this deck because Lekko has an actual game plan. I don't like do nothing and do nothing more.
I'm like here in tier 3. I'm like, if I'm gonna play one of these decks, I'm gonna exploit the niche, and like at least there's a niche there.
Does something, bro. Hololive is defensive. It is just naturally defensive. This deck doesn't do anything. It's just a money counter.
Yeah, you're right. It's just money counter. Yeah. All right, other TRV. Just toss in tier 4.
It's the same deck. It's the same fucking deck. Like.
No, it's not the same deck, dude. This deck
has the benefits of being
Pachin can actually play the game. I legitimately think that if you know how to play against this TRV deck, it literally just like completely and totally shits the bed. Outside of like really positive windfall in its favor.
As long as you
That's the one thing I'll agree with Dean on, dude. I think that if you know how to play against this deck's a literal fucking waffle. Who cares?
If you know how to just be over dual lanes and make them have
yeah, if your deck can contest like 9.
Yeah, if you're playing a bad deck, sure, like yeah, it's fine. Slime to the top, dude, right? Or at least to the top of 1.5. It's in tier 1 somewhere, right?
Is it a tier 1?
I like it though.
My problem with slime is that slime also doesn't kill people.
It doesn't kill people, but okay, wait.
It is the compression deck though.
It's not. It's the compression deck. I think you're underrating the amount of like sneaky push that it can get with its off finishers. I think you can pick people apart.
I know exactly what it can do. I
know you know.
Play this deck ad nauseum.
You can like stop.
I know that you. Like, I'm just saying,
like random burn ones.
It's a lot more than like you think about it. You like read it in practice. I think it works a lot better.
My problem with slime is that. Yes, it can compress, but slime also has the problem of it gets stuck in really bad deck states sometimes, where compression doesn't matter because it's stuck.
That's true.
Right?
That is true.
It has very poor deck speed, and if it is using deck speed, it's usually like it's making its compression non-existent because it's spending that stock that it needed to compress with to then move through its deck. So
it also really doesn't want to
stock neutral for a turn.
It's even worse than that. It doesn't want to. It doesn't even want to replace its board. So the fact that you have to play this card, like your best way to get through deck is to like brainstorm, play over Murin brainstorm with the Milim that's basically a on a stick, play over a Chiuri. The card that's like hand to stock sack self check for, and then play another Murin over that and process. Yeah, you
cards. Preemptively have it.
It's probably at the bottom of tier 1. It's like the gatekeep, right? It's like between tier 1 and 0.5.
That is like legitimately just always been my issue with slime because slime's always had that problem. Always.
Yes, always. I see in chat like slime needs a free fresh counter. Yes, that would fix the problem.
Like it just doesn't have that means to like. And also, if it triple triggers pants, which will happen when it gets to a good deck, it can just die.
That's more often than not. Yeah,
I have done that.
Very volatile to stock swap as well.
Hell, I've done that in pants book.
Completion deck, right? Very volatile to stock swap, unfortunately. Because that is its gimmick.
But you also have a level 0 stock swap that you can rip out at any time.
You do, but it doesn't matter if you have stock swap.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just saying for its placement.
You and your opponent are both. If you and your opponent are both fucking wet noodle fighting, and you both go to 3. And your opponent's deck has a stock swap, you gotta be scared now. And yeah, you have to spend your stock out on that turn if you think they're gonna stock swap you. And then that can kind of reduce your ability to play the game you're trying to play, and you get into like the situation where maybe you have to try to kill them, but your deck's not very good at killing them on the spot like that, and it's like it's a weird deck. It's cool that the deck is immune to like anti-damage though, and like the defensive counters, which is really strong.
It's immune to a lot of shit. You have like a lot of stuff going for you, but yeah,
it's cool. The deck is very strong. Right?
I think it's on the line.
I'm okay with this. Yeah, it's probably here or it's right above Oskigura. It's somewhere there. I'm fine with this though, because I do think slime is still very strong.
I literally think it's the line. I think it's the line between 1 and 1.5.
All right,
okay, I don't know.
Here's some mess ups, but yeah, let's start with Zombieland. Let's see Zombieland first.
Put at the bottom of tier 3.
Yep.
Like above IMAS. I would say it's above IMAS.
It's just the first deck coin flip deck. That's all it is.
Okay, I think my deck is better than the first deck coin flip deck. I think Sakura is always just a really
like all these other
card.
Level 0 combo.
Yeah, Sakura is disgustingly toxic.
It is one of ironically enough, I still think Lily is one of the best level 0 combos ever printed in this entire game. I think that card is
the difference is broken. All these other ones are like bars and pants and shit.
Yes, it is on
It's on a worse trigger, but the fact is, it's the way you flex it. It's the way you flex it with the level 0s you have. Like the level 0s that you have available to you, the support that it has are so much better that it doesn't matter that the trigger is shit.
It is very crazy. Actually, though, that the Carmen is right. That this deck zeros aren't even good, but they're good enough.
Just that they synergize with Lily specifically. Like,
yeah, it's really funny.
She's fucking insane. That she's the craziest
in that regard. But yeah, she is probably still my favorite level 0 combo ever printed.
I agree. It's so much fun to play with that card.
The dichotomy of Sakura, and there's no better combo to play with Lily than Sakura. So
yeah, you just play Sakura.
Is a frustrating card.
If she coin flips to win, she wins. If they burn one, they eat the one, cancel the 3, you lose.
Yeah. Sometimes you see it make your opponent clock 6. Sometimes they just
and then you just extend the hand, and other times it's a burn 3. And then banded.
Eat 1, cancel
Sakura
3.
is, mind you, Sakura is one of the very few cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. Or Yu-Gi-Oh. I looked at my Twitch.
Yu-Gi-Oh. She is a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I saw MBT Yu-Gi-Oh on my Twitch, so I said Yu-Gi-Oh. Sakura is one of the very few cards in Weiss Wars that has finality to it, where you will extend your hand if your opponent's clock matches your Sakura's. You can extend your hand, and the game is over.
Yeah,
and there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, if they're at 3-4, they lose.
Yeah. So are we just gonna skip Umusume for now? Is that what's happening? Because there's 4 Umusume decks here.
Okay,
I mean, isn't the best deck in this set 8 Pants, right?
No, it's something between Stock Soul Bar and 8 Pants. Realistically,
I mean, ignore XX. Not bad either.
Yeah, ignore XX. XX isn't a real deck. Kevin decided to just actually put the things. He just didn't get rid of it because he's stupid.
You can't get rid of stuff on.
Oh, you can't.
What's the top end for Spy Fam?
They either you can play the Lloyd, or you can play the Anya, which is the Mocha.
You can early play
the Anya that you can early play, right?
Yeah, Anya early play Mocha. It's a pay 1, ditch 1, heal 1, Mocha 3, and then changes to a check X.
Yeah, and she early plays like.
And then you play the Pants combo, the white hair.
Yeah, the Fiona.
Yeah, Fiona. Yeah.
So you get like 7-5 walls.
But that's really bad against standby, right? Like that's rough against standby.
It is very poorly positioned into 8 standby Hololive specifically.
Okay, so if the standby decks leave the meta, this deck jumps up, but like it's probably tier 3, right?
Well, my problem is I don't like Anya as a combo. I think Lloyd is a better combo, but Anya is the cheapest combo, and Anya gives you a mid game when the deck doesn't have good early play. Like the set just doesn't have
good. That's what I was looking when I saw it. There weren't a lot of good early plays.
The green early play is broken.
Yeah, it has a actually early play.
It's green.
Well, how about this? I don't think we know enough about that. I think this is a don't know. I think the Uma's a don't. Just put Uma XX in there. Don't even put all these. Just put all Uma decks as that. Save yourself the trouble. Just put Uma in there. Yeah, I think this is good. I don't think we can speak to either of these.
Like Uma does seem pretty strong though. Just looking at it, like reading through some of the cards that I didn't know. Some of these cards, like I didn't know the bar.
I can see some of them we hit tier 2 or top of tier 3.
I've seen the 8 Pants deck. The 8 Pants deck is pretty sick. That top end is really funny.
Do we really?
Here, I'll
do we really want to order tier 3?
I mean, tier 3 is like effectively ordered. I think.
It's effectively.
Yeah, I think
we ordered it enough. It doesn't matter too much. Do we still need Gucci?
Yeah, Kevin, just do a quick rundown of the Umusume decks, just so they have an idea. Because they're all in decks.
8 Pants.
For sure.
Well, it's either 8 Pants or Stoxo Pants. Basically, there's 3 types of decks, okay? You either play a standby, you play either a Pants level 1 or a Stoxo level 1. It doesn't matter as long as you're playing blue level 1, because the blue level 1s are your best level 1 cards in Uma. And then you play either the Pants finisher or the bar finisher. What a Pants finisher... I'll go finish level 1 combo first, actually. Level 1 combo, you play the Pants one, which is a... What was it again? It was a... If you have... it's a Magro, I think. Let me double check first. Was it Top Road or Narita or some bullshit? But she's like a +2 if you have a marker. The marker effect lets you salvage any level 2 or higher. And then the finisher, and then the Stockto combo, if it's like decently big, but with a marker, it's a check 5 add 2. Otherwise, it's just a check 5 add 1, which is pretty good actually. It's a +2, but you need a marker. All your level 1s, the blue level 1s, also give you ways to dig for CXs, ways to change markers to pluses. and ways to give yourself markers because they all have inheritance. And then your finisher, the pants finisher is pretty funny. It's on play heal or spawn on 2/2 that no one plays. And then when you play a CX, you can send a card from your opponent's field to the top of the deck, and you can activate this from the back row. So you have 4 copies of this. You can stack 4 cards for your opponent's board to the top of your deck, and then basically get like a guaranteed swing for 4 or a swing for 3. And the Mocha is if it has a marker, you can discard 1 and then burn 1 and then Mocha. And decks, what these decks can do is that the pants one, you can effectively play money counter because if you're just top decking your opponent's entire board, you'll always have a full board unless you get bounced. And for the Mocha, they often play a 2-0 event, and it's basically like you can send to memory, and if you have 2 of the event in memory, you can send both of them to waiting room to burn 2.
You said a lot of shit. I just don't care at all. Fuck the horses, dude.
And yeah,
horses are good.
A standby, you play like a bodyguard.
Are they actually relevant?
Yeah,
you think they're relevant?
They're good.
God damn it.
A standby.
Hope they don't come to English.
You play bodyguard that's like bigger than Heaven Bird's red bodyguard, and it's like Albuta bodyguard. This has the on reverse pay 1 that.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty big. And then
the return of Futaba.
Yeah, and then you have 3 2 changers. One changes to the other, and the other changes back to the other. So it's kind of like what's called Charlotte, but instead of being a heal and defense squad, you get a heal and burn 1. And you can early play them with standby. Some people play a 2-0 event that can spawn them, but that's a bit mean. Yeah, that's basically the deck.
Yeah.
All right. There's the tier list. We're done.
Only tier list overall.
Just under 3 hours.
That's good. That's
I'm pretty happy with this. I like the way this looks. This looks right to me.
I would have liked to have the correct Mickey Mouse there right above Cinderella, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, can't win that. Kevin.
I can literally fix it right now.
Kevin.
Let me gimp it up. Open up GIMP.
We love GIMP. Photoshop for people who don't want to pay for Photoshop.
Also, what would make it even more important to me is that when it's there, it makes tier 2 slightly bigger than tier 1.5, and that makes my
that was bugging me.
Yep.
Like, I want tier 2 to be ever so slightly bigger than the rest.
Why? Because it's not the. Just
I want the
yeah.
Please. It makes me happy.
Why? Throw horses in there? Or no?
No, just Mickey. I want Mickey there. I want Mickey above Cinderella.
Mickey above it. Yeah, Mickey is better than Cinderella. Theoretically.
I hate how it always closes my tools on layers into the box.
Yeah,
we can't see what you're doing. We only see your.
Oh, the stream.
Is there anything else?
The stream can.
Is there any last minute things that I think are? Man, I really like that tier 3's two complete rows. It makes me feel really good. Should anything be moved up at all anywhere? No? No? I think this looks fine. Like, I think you could make an argument for putting Gura in tier 1 with how many results it puts up, realistically. Is it right, though? No.
I love watching Kevin do the exact same thing I do every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. The highlight text, path from text, grow, move to other layer, fill.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now we have 2 distinct.
No!
I told you I can't delete it! I can't delete it, dude!
Above Cinderella. Above Cinderella.
Above Cinderella.
Above Cinderella?
It is better than Cinderella. Okay. Your cards are just higher quality everywhere.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. But, oh yeah, that is pretty clean. Okay. That is pretty
right. It's a nice, like.
That's
okay, my only thing though.
One day we'll get a Goofy movie set.
Realistically, the cards in Don't Know tier should probably be around tier 2 to 3. I agree, but also if we add those cards, our list does not look even anymore, and that makes me upset. So we're going to ignore that.
I do like how this is a like.
I like my.
It's a very nice looking graph if you turn it on its side.
But yes, I think the only thing I'm like, I was considering was Gurren tier 1.
Yo, the spaces don't match up here.
Fix it then.
What happened? What the fuck? Why did it go back to being centralized?
I don't fucking know. It's your fucking computer.
Did it like break when you added an extra line to it or something?
It might have, yeah.
Alright, that's good. But yeah, thoughts on Gurren to tier 1? Maybe yes, no, maybe so. It does ruin the graph. We have to adjust that.
That and slime like on the line. I'm down with that. I think that's like a.
I think it could be. I don't think it has to be. I think it's like it's just my thing always comes down to like just raw results. When I look at all these results, what the fuck just happened?
What happened?
Oh, I don't. That's so weird. Okay, hang on.
The other slime builds in 8 pants.
Oh, when you opened it, it looks cleaner than when you.
Oh yeah.
Do it like that.
Yeah, when I press the save.
Only 8 pants. 8 pants is the only one that's competitively relevant, unfortunately.
You could argue that 8 standby choice.
Oh no, the slime build. No, I don't think.
Somewhere tier 3 or tier 4.
Not worth looking at though.
Like there's a lot of random decks within each one of these you could argue for. It's like. Why don't you talk about quad color pad? That's probably like higher than half of tier 3.
That's so cool. I want to play that deck.
Like if I had quad color pad, it's probably half.
It's because people don't play it. We're literally just looking at that. We are trying to look at the decks for the most part that see some amount of play, even if it's scarce, like a fucking trickle here and there. I literally never see anybody play Rainbow Pad. Like
I literally never seen anyone play Prodigy's Princess Connect anymore.
Okay, unironically, I see more people play like. Bar Precone than I have anything else, but
I've seen more people play Prisma.
Yes, I have also. That doesn't make the deck better though. You put it there. You said I can't delete it. So
this is the community. Majority of this was the community. I think all these are.
Okay, yeah. So we're just using we're using what the community had. That's what it is.
This is the community rated one.
The only thing.
I asked if you wanted me to add anything. You said nothing.
Okay, if I had my way, right, and we looked at Uma Musume, I know we're ignorant of it. But it is. I would probably put like Gura to 1. I would put maybe move the 2 Quince decks up, or maybe just Itsuki. Move Itsuki up. But I think they're like the same realistically. I don't think they're much better than each other. But like Itsuki sees more results. If I'm just going based on like purely my brain on raw results, it would be like Gura up, Itsuki up. Add both of the Uma Musume decks to tier 2.
Okay, to be honest, if we're talking about decks that see result, it's just these 8. Swear to God.
True. No. 8 Standby Project Sekai sees as much play as 8 Bar does. Like, legitimately, I watched it. That is one of the few sets I watch. Like, they both see, like, a good amount of play. You're cringe. You're the one that does these fucking results. You don't even pay attention.
Okay, if you want results...
Oh my god, are we still arguing?
True.
Please,
where did I put it actually?
Please save and download the image, please.
Wait, where did I say? Where did I put Licorice Record? Did I put it above or below D4DJ?
Above Project Sec. Yeah, above D4DJ.
Okay. Please hit the save and download button.
Just save it. We're good.
Please free me. It's 11:30.
Title.
So what? You're not gonna do anything tomorrow. You're gonna go play Baldur's Gate. Shut up.
No, man.
Is Baldur's Gate good? I've never tried anything.
I have been, dude, this simulator has kept me up at night, every night, like, messing with it. I know. Can't wait to get flamed for that one tomorrow.
Remix is less. What kind of remix?
Oh my god, please.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, share it. Just fucking print it. Alright, we're done.
Woo!
Woo! I don't
want
my Locust gonna be so mad at me for putting pad this high.
Why?
He thinks
exposing it?
He played it and he thinks the deck is shit.
What, 8-bar?
Yeah.
Your local shit.
No.
Was the one that was on it? Was it the one that was on our thing?
He was on our show for no. He was not the pad one. He was on for
Agilent guy.
Yeah.
He was
like
he's dumb and stinky.
I mean, he almost went 4-0 with it still, except he ran to quad color pad, which had the -0 counter against his finisher.
Yeah, -0 counter versus restander. Damn, bro, you got him.
But every other time he said, "Bro, it's like impossible to keep Alexander alive."
Okay, that's definitely not true. That card's like fucking 13-5, and you just salvage counters to your hand, and you say, haha. Like, literally what that deck does is you go like 6-7 stock, or like not even. You go.
Oh
like,
no, he played. It was like his first time playing it, but he still went almost 4-0 first time playing it. So
yeah, like,
it's pretty much just he needs to learn.
Dude, the deck literally goes 4 stock, play down triple Alexander plus the 2-1 back row. So you have 2 12-5 or 2 like 13-5 Alexanders and 13 Alexanders, 1 11K Alexander, and you just go salvage memory kick counter, salvage brainstorm, salvage cards, and you say okay. Whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. You just protect. You minimum protect 2 Alexanders, and then you could just replay the 3rd one if you need to.
All right, sounds good. Any comments from the viewers? Otherwise, we end it when it hits exactly 3 hours of the stream, which gives you 40 seconds to say your words. Otherwise, yeah.
So until we have a question. Well, thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate it.
Next week is
me and Kevin
JoJo.
JoJo's, and then the week after, Kevin and I are gonna try to do an English one, so Ragnarok can stop yelling at me for talking about English cards. Any card you'd recommend from getting from Hololive Premium? 2-1 Matsuri. That's it.
2-1 Matsuri. Yeah.
No other cards. Thumbs up. Yeah, so we'll have JoJo's on next Thursday, and the Thursday after we're gonna do an English tier list.
Okay. Yeah,
because the format's gonna be coming up. You said it. You said me.
All right, it's 3 hours. Goodbye.
Yep. Goodbye.